Hello out there in Radio Land. This is Homer Simpson. It's not. No. All right. I think we're... If anybody's listening, it doesn't seem like anybody. Well, there was one person. Somebody's out there. Let us know that you can hear us and that we're not too effing loud. I think we might be. Let me see. Go to the live scene.
Hi. You good?
I think. Okay. What up?
Robbie good.
Robbie's here. Let's see what it makes.
I hear voices. I hear farts. That was me.
The fart ending. All right.
Why does it only say there's one viewer, but Robbie and John are both on?
What?
It says there's one viewer and Robbie and John are on.
Well, you can't trust the mainstream media. You know how it is nowadays.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like we're louder than usual.
I feel like you're louder than usual.
Well, maybe. But
Why is my feed so far behind? Because you have crappy internet, John.
I don't know. What do you watch? Do you watch on Twitch? Obviously you do. Duh. You're in our Twitch chat. Disregard. Oh, boy. I got to pull this mic back up. I forgot I pulled it down there. There we go. That's it. They cancel out. That's exactly it. All right. Do we sound okay? Everything sounds good or is it loud or whatever? Anybody? You said you were good? Yeah, that's right.
So we're just spend the next hour and a half making fart sounds. I got good fiber. Yeah, so do we.
All right. Man, oh, man.
And Google Fiber. He's got good fiber and Google Fiber.
Oh. Well, that's right. He's in Kansas City. That's where they did the whole test bed. The beta program was Kansas City for Google Fiber.
Well, that was dumb.
That was years ago. Yeah. Amazingly, we still don't have it here in Flint, Michigan. Weird.
More clean water. Oh! I'm just goofing.
What kind of poor is drinking water anyway?
I'm just goofing.
I only drink if it's cold filtered with hops and barley. Or sugar. Anyway. Sounds great. Awesome. Thank you.
Boosh.
All right.
So we should actually start, huh?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Burr, burr, burr.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can.
I didn't realize Vega was in this game.
You.
Oh, Vega.
Where?
On the back. It's Vega from Street Fighter.
Yeah. Zombie Vega.
Zombie Vega.
Well, I fucking hate him so much. I can stream games on my Switch. Wow. Man, lucky. Mr. Fancy Google Fiber.
I can do that with my Comcast or fee.
Let's see here.
What are you saying?
Are we ready to get started?
As the Black Eyed Peas would say.
Let's get retarded? Or?
No, let's get this started. Bro.
What? That's the original.
No.
It is.
We need wheels for these chairs.
You don't know that? That's the unedited version of that song?
Son of a...
What have you done?
Trying to move with these broken-ass wheels.
Yeah, well.
My fat foot.
Maybe we need new shoes. I don't know how shoes would help, but okay.
Shoes?
Yeah, anyway.
Got some new boots. Genuine ostrich.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm just goofing.
All right, so ready?
New boot goofing. Oh! Okay, I'm back again.
Okay. Good.
Oof, that sucked. When Fergie joined. Oh.
You ready?
What's up with her, by the way?
I don't know. Why would I know?
No, you see her, and it's like sometimes you see her, and you're like, "Wow, she's really hot." And then you see her other times, you're like, "No, not at all."
I've never looked at Furby.
Furby?
It's because how he spelled it. I've never looked at Fergie and thought she's hot. Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's very attractive.
She's kind of like her face is like the Man Hand episode from Seinfeld.
The man hands. Yeah.
But it's her face.
She's a two-face.
The man.
She was married to Josh Duhamel or whatever it is.
It's Duhamel, dude.
I know.
He's from North Dakota.
I know. Just like
Transformers.
Just like our boy Valdor, whose game is packed and ready to go, by the way.
Jesus, you still haven't sent it? It's been 6 months.
Dude, it's been like a month. First of all, I don't own a gun, much less many guns that would necessitate an entire rack. What am I going to do with a gun rack?
Oh.
Anyway, there's a fucking fly in here now, too. Come on. Come on. All right. You ready?
What about her lovely lady humps?
I don't have an affinity for
Did
her
he
lady
say
lumps.
I think it was humps, wasn't
No,
it?
it's lumps.
Is it lumps?
Yeah.
Like 2 lumps of sugar for my coffee?
I also believe that that's what
Good looking family cat.
Jermaine
Box back there.
Jermaine
Dupree?
no, from Flight of the Concorde calls them lumps.
Oh.
I just might have one that would you
Or 9 more?
we could discuss offline. I have several copies. Should I just send one to Valdor? No, I'll send it. Send one to me though as well, just in case. Anyway,
Or you could just send it to Valdor. He'd probably get it to him quicker than you.
Mine is legitimately packed and ready to go. I just didn't make it to the post office today.
We'll ship it out on Tuesday.
It will go tomorrow. Whichever God you believe in, if any. I promise to Buddha or Allah. I don't even know whatever. It'll be there.
Well, I guess if he doesn't have a Famicom, he can't play it anyways, so maybe we should just wait and get him a Famicom.
He could just take one of the adapters out of the gyromites.
I'm trying to help you out here now.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He should just wait and get a Famicom.
Anywho. Yeah, agreed. Okay, we ready? What button?
Nothing.
Which one?
The new one. Where's the new one?
I'm not telling you because you'll just use it and then you'll blow it. You'll come in and just fucking, oh, here it is. Blah. Stop. Don't read.
Oh, I already know. It's right here.
Yeah, I
It's
know
the
it
green.
too. Yeah, I know it is.
It's the green.
I'm ready.
Ready.
All right, we ready?
Ready when you are, Officer Ben Bray.
I can't fucking wait for typing of the dead!
You know what? That was a good dry run. We didn't record it, so we got to do it over.
Oh, son of a...
That's okay, because I'll get the timing down.
I was going to give you shit, too.
Watch this. Watch this. Ready? All right, everybody be quiet. Everybody out in Radio Land, be quiet.
They don't have
No,
microphones.
shh. What did I just say?
Zip it.
Okay, you ready?
I can't fucking wait for typing of the dead!
Welcome back to the Lost Joystick Network, episode 25.
I can't do it again.
It's the silver anniversary episode of Lost Joystick Network. We've made it to 25. I mean,
This
I have.
is seriously 25? Now I see what we did wrong. You took the fucking pressed record off of it.
Yeah, I had to take 2 on the intro there because I didn't hit record.
Well, I guess I didn't either. But
Yeah.
it's not on the notes
I don't know where it went. Oh, I had to use a new template. I used an old template that didn't have it in it, but I'll fix that. I heard a
sons of
bad word
bitches.
and I rhymed a short line. I don't know what the hell's going on over here. All right.
Hi.
Again, welcome back. It's episode 25. My name is Mike, joined as always by my co-host Jay. Jay, say hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
I thought I was obligated. Didn't I have to sign a contract or some shit?
Listen, I
Yeah,
don't
I get a nice pen, though.
You signed an NDA. Okay?
Okay.
So chill out.
So I don't have to be here. I just can't talk about it if I'm not here.
Is that what an NDA is?
Yes.
Then no.
Okay.
Yours was a different contract that says you have to stay here. You
Yeah.
can't ever leave. Please don't leave me like everybody else. Anyway.
Well, thank
Yes.
everybody for joining in. We're actually a day early.
Yeah, thanks everybody. We've got a birthday tomorrow of one of our co-hosts. And we'll discuss that when we talk to them in a little bit. That's
Is that why we're not on tomorrow?
Yes.
No shit.
Yep, that's why.
Whose birthday?
Well, I'll give you a 50-50 shot of guessing.
I know it's not yours.
Well, no. And then you
It's
also
either
know it's not
John-
yours, so then that leaves 2, and then you flip a coin and pick one.
So it's John or Robbie.
Correct.
No, I didn't get the invite.
Yeah.
So whoever it is a dick. So just for the other co-hosts, thanks, Dick.
The answer is Robbie, by the way.
Oh,
it's Robbie's birthday
I
tomorrow.
know,
Yeah, I know. Yes, that is a Famicom box in the background. I have a couple. Thanks to you, by the way. And we'll talk about some other things that I'll have coming thanks to you as well soon. But, Jay, how was your week?
Good. Sorry,
Okay.
I was looking at the Famicom box.
No, that's cool.
It's good. I don't have anything fancy.
This is all you do every other week, and other than this, you come over and play Mortal Kombat or...
Yes, that's pretty much. I come over to your house and play Mortal Kombat, and
Or-
listen to you tell me how bad I am at it.
First of all, I've
And-
never said that you're bad at it. Not
I'm
once.
sorry, you tell me to get good. That's what you tell me.
That's different.
Get good.
That's correct.
That normally means I'm bad.
And you also do one other thing, too.
Work.
Hang TVs.
Oh yeah.
Like when you're at my house. I mean,
Yeah.
we had another TV hanging event this weekend.
And a mirror.
Well, yeah, we'll get to all that. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah,
What about
that's
you?
also, that right there should tell you right there. Yeah, John and I have the same birthday, by the way.
Oh.
Yes.
I know
You don't
John's
know when
birthday.
that is. No,
July
I'm just- I know you do. I know you do. I'm kidding. So that's why I figured maybe you would have guessed it was Robbie.
I knew it was Robbie.
Yeah, I know. All right. One thing I do want to talk about real quick. I'm not ready to do the giveaway. I ran out of time. I thank those who have joined or entered so far. We will give it away on the next episode, which will likely be also some housekeeping. We're probably going to move to Wednesday. I think that's probably been decided just because I have to drive to get my son on Thursdays in the summer, and I just don't think I can. I won't feel prepared, ready to walk in after being gone all day. Like a day like today, I spent a lot of time prepping, writing.
And we're still not prepared.
And well, that's true of everything in my life. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but yes. So
I don't help. So
Yeah, we're gonna. No, you don't.
in every sense of the word.
Yeah, like you don't help with the show or the notes or any of the comedic value or really anything really.
No. Not really.
What is it that you say you do around here?
I sell your stuff
Oh yeah, that's right.
for a very reasonable cost.
So remember that thing we were talking about before where I wanted you to stay all the time?
Yes.
I'm rethinking that strat.
Oh, well.
No, I'm not. Come on.
I just I
Shit.
freed up. I don't have to worry about anybody asking me what I'm doing.
Cut me loose before I cut you loose. I'm sure of that. So, but yeah, so we're probably going to move to Wednesdays, just so everybody knows. And the giveaway will be postponed. Still the game, sitting right over here somewhere. I don't remember. Put it right up there. So
Should
we
we
will
add a little
absolutely.
something to that?
Yeah, I think we might.
Just because we are stretching it out?
But you do this to me on the spot, and I don't know what that is yet. So yes, we will.
Okay.
We'll figure it out at another
Just a little
time.
something. Nothing
There'll be
crazy.
something else.
It
Yes.
could be a lapel pin.
And again, I'll remind those who are listening
A
now.
nice lapel pen would be good. Pin, not pen. Like a nice pin. Just it could be anything.
I will remind people that they can enter by giving us the name of the man on the cover of Phalanx for the Super Nintendo.
Maybe some cufflinks.
What is this? Like a Jostens catalog? Are you looking? Did you just go to like things remembered before you came here and you're like, ooh, that's a nice bracelet. I could get it
said-
engraved.
I said nothing about engraving.
No, I know.
That's what we could do. We could have the game engraved with the winner's name.
Oh, I'm sure they would just love that.
That would be fantastic.
I'm already going to plaster it with stickers.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So anyway, all right. So your week was good.
Yes,
Good.
I played Mortal Kombat and hung a TV up
Yeah.
in a mirror
Yeah.
and was told I was bad at Mortal Kombat.
I've never said you were bad at it.
Good.
I don't
Okay,
think
it's
I
the
even
same
said
thing.
that.
You did.
I think Harrison said that.
No.
Pretty sure.
You actually got snippy with me one day. I was using Scorpion. I got to, I think, the endurance round. And I was like, I can't do it. And you were like, you suck. Quit bitching. And then you threw a shoe at me.
Look, first of all, it was a slide. It was soft and foamy. It wasn't like a loafer or heel or something like that, you know. I got a wood burning kit. Ooh, could you help us engrave?
I bet wood burning kits would work great on plastic.
Oh yeah. Maybe we'll do it to the disc too. Or both of them. There's two.
We just put their initials. We
Probably.
just put your initials.
Yeah, exactly.
MP.
You're welcome.
You got the MP copy of Metal Gear.
Metal pair.
Metal pair.
Anyway, So thank you for asking. My week has also been good.
I did ask you
When?
like 10 minutes ago,
Mm,
but then you started talking about your damn giveaway.
our damn giveaway.
It's yours now.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. Well, once I put my initials on it, it will be.
Yeah, there you go. No, how was your week?
No, it was fine. It's just everything's been so busy. Amy had the dance recital. Her last day of school is tomorrow. It's Wednesday, the
You're still
15th.
going to school?
Well,
she has to work later.
The kids' last day of school was. I'm sorry. The kids she teaches last day of school was yesterday. Her last day is tomorrow. So, yes, the answer to your question is yes. But it's been very hectic around our house because this all kind of culminates in the same like week or two every year. She's also trying to do a dance recital. They had that this weekend, which was also, this was great. The dance recital was at the Whiting. And then the Flint Art Fair was at the Institute of Arts, as you know, right next to the Whiting.
Yeah.
So guess what happened? Every dickhead who came to the Flint Art Fair decided they were going to park at the Whiting parking lot while they're trying to have two dance recitals. And there's a sign out there that says, don't come here unless you're coming for a
dance
Whiting
recital.
show, right? And then they hired security, and security didn't do shit. They just sat there and I guess vaped and sat on their phone. like thanks, man. Your job was to make sure nobody parked here because we need the parking lot for the literally hundreds and hundreds of people that came. The place was full. And then the Whiting parking lot was like already 2/3 full when I got there, and I got there an hour early. I was like, oh, this is not going to go good. So anyway, nobody really wants to hear about any of that, I'm sure. But my week has been good. It's been, like I said, I've just been busy. I'll get to what I've been doing a little bit in the collecting. That'll kind of give you a better update of what I've been up to. But
Oh, yeah, because that was real quick for me.
yeah, I know. So why don't we use that as a segue and get right to it?
Like the little wheel thing, Segway? You know, the guy that invented the Segway died on a Segway. He actually fell off a cliff on a Segway, ironically.
How ironic.
Don't you think?
No. Time for the collecting update. I notice you've said nothing because you have nothing to add, so I'll start.
You suck!
That's what I have to add.
I'm going to start moving the thing closer to me.
No, I'll move closer to you.
Fine, then the whole plan will work. Anyway, so, Jay, I will let you start with the collecting update. Why don't you give the people the long-term update and the short-term update?
Long-term update?
Yeah.
I got nothing new.
Okay, and then we probably should have done that backwards. Let's retake this.
Okay.
So for the podcast, people will hear this. You guys are getting the inside view. But give me the short-term collecting update.
Nothing.
And then the long-term collecting update.
Still nothing.
I see.
What about you?
Do you want to talk about what you told me on Sunday?
No.
Okay. Then we'll leave that out too. I'll cut it.
Okay.
I didn't know if you did or not.
No.
I didn't know if you did.
I'll let that go.
That's fine. Anyway. So that's it.
Yeah, nothing.
Cool. Excellent update. You would have had a new record, but the people that I ordered it from canceled the order.
Dickheads.
That was neat. Anyway.
For no reason.
I grabbed a getting to see how the sausage is made here. That's right. That's right, Asa. This is the behind the scenes look at how things get done around here. Anyway, what the hell was I just talking about? I don't know. You're good. You're past. It's already passed.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay. So I'll give you my update.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop looking at the sounds. I gotta get you away from this thing. You can't focus. Okay. This is what we come for, sausage. Yeah, kinda. Every once in a while, Amy shows up or Sarah, but in general, not so much.
I
Anyway,
could go for an Italian sausage right now.
I bet you could.
Some onions and peppers.
Yeah,
Delicious.
maybe get it from Portillo's.
Ooh.
Did you know there's a Portillo's in Sterling Heights?
No.
I went right past it when I bought the Mortal Kombat 2. I drove right past it. I was like, holy shit.
You didn't stop?
Oh, I absolutely stopped on the way back.
okay.
I
was
couldn't
gonna say,
stop
what
on the way
fuck
there.
What's wrong with you?
I couldn't stop on the way there. On the way back, though, we bought like $100+ worth of Portillos because I was like, well, we need 8 hot dogs, and we're going to need, because Kyle went with me to get that cab, and he had never had it. So I had to get it for him and then everybody home.
So what you're saying is Kyle is the one that interfered with me getting.
Yeah, 100%.
Portillos.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut him.
Yeah. Well, I'll drive you down there because I'll go anytime. Anyway,
Anywho.
on to the collecting update.
Yeah, on the collecting.
All right.
What'd you get, man? What's new?
I got a few things.
Did you get a Mortal Kombat 2 cab?
No.
Huh?
That's old news.
Oh. What about Ultimate Mortal Kombat?
That was 13 days ago or something.
Oh, yeah, and the Ultimate Mortal Kombat
That was
3
like a month
14
now.
days ago.
That was like a month. Yeah, exactly. So, our friend Retro Game Enthusiast John
Yes.
has been so gracious as to help me kind of learn the ropes of acquiring things from overseas, right? So, I won't go into the nitty gritty detail of how you purchase things or get them over here or whatever. It's not shady. It's just like it's a process and it's very detail oriented, but whatever. So
We could do a diagram for that. And we could post it on Instagram.
boy, man, you think we have followers now? We won't then. Oh, an Instagram of how to purchase things? No, thank you. Plus, I don't want people to know. So I hope nobody's listening, which luckily for us, they aren't. But anyway.
Yes.
So one of the things John asked me is he wound up picking up a lot of Famicoms, like boxed Famicoms.
A lot, not a lot.
Like when I say a lot, I don't mean like
A ton.
Uncle Scrooge's
well, I
vault.
guess a ton. But
Yeah, well, whatever. So he said, I only bought these because they were cheap. Do you want them? I can just have them sent straight to you because they'll drop ship it to wherever you want, right? So, Fort Wayne has a Portillo's too. Yeah, well, I'll probably stop there when I get the red tent because we're working on that too. Jay's got to commit to when we're going to get the red tent, but that's
got to
not
work it into my busy schedule
Yeah.
of picking stuff up.
Well, or that, or mounting TVs and losing at Mortal Kombat. But anyway, he sent me a box of 10 of them, right? And
10 of these.
Yeah. And it's
Is there one in that box?
yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff. That's the coolest one. Because in that box is not only the Famicom, but all the cool paperwork that came with one of them, including some like ads and stuff. And the best one is right there on top. This right here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at that.
The Hyrule Fantasy, the Famicom disk system. Little, like a one-page marketing slick, whatever. Very cool. That was the only one that came with that. Some of them came with paperwork, some of them didn't. It was all varying. What was them? They all had the things you need functionally, but none of them. They didn't all have paperwork.
What is this on the other side? John, what is
John
this?
knew. I forget. We actually looked it up. He and I were talking when I opened it up, and he told me what it was.
Some cool shit.
We looked it up. I don't remember, but
The Hyrule Fantasy.
yeah. So that's obviously Zelda on FDS, which is super cool, and I'm probably just gonna frame it and put it up on the set. So now I have a whole box of Famicoms, right? And I posted it on Instagram, and I had like 5 people asking me. Now, the key here with this, and also the other part of the story I'm going to tell is, I'm really just trying to build some stock. So when I go do shows, like we're talking, I'm going to be going to Kansas City in August to do this Kansas City Retro swap with John. I believe you're going to come along. We're going to possibly pick up Robbie en route, and then we're all going to have a big old LJN party in Kansas City. But
Oh, yeah, because we're getting members only jackets or satin windbreakers.
yeah, the windbreakers.
Yeah,
They'll be embroidered.
Okay.
We'll get the logos on there and stuff.
Liking it.
Then we'll walk in the Pride Parade. No, it's the rainbow logo. It's a joke. Come on. But anyway, so they got me. I'm just trying to accumulate stock for those kind of things. I don't necessarily need 10 Famicoms, although I wanted one. It was cool to have one. I've always kind of wanted one. And now I need to get the disc system that goes under it. I have a twin, which that's a whole other story right now, but neither here nor there. So then I started to think the mysterious Mirasame Castle. It was a game developed at the same time as Zelda and used some of the same assets. That's right. He told me that. I couldn't remember.
Kind of cool.
But so John does a lot of that kind of stuff where he goes and hits like the Japanese auction sites, picks some stuff off. You pay a little bit more for shipping, but you get it over here, and then you're kind of not the only person that has that stuff, but it's definitely something you don't see as often, right? Yeah. Obviously, duh. So yeah, he missed the Pride Parade last week. Oh no, darn. So it got me to thinking, John does that a lot with Famicom, I'm like, why don't I start doing that with like Super Famicom? Like, why don't I just start like trolling some of these lots, you know, and it all basically is a conduit through like Yahoo auctions and that kind of stuff. And you can get pretty good deals. Like it's, if you know what you're doing and you're paying attention, you can get some pretty good deals through there. So I wound up like on Sunday, because there's like a 13-hour time difference, right, between when it ends there and here. Like it was supposed to end at like Monday at 10 a.m., but it ended, or no, whatever it was, it ended on Sunday at 10 a.m. or so. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, neither here nor there. So I was sitting there on the site, like bidding, and like I kind of had my threshold of what I wanted to bid on something. One of these lots is very large. Okay, one was like 65 boxed Super Famicom games.
Yeah, there was a shitload of them.
Yeah, and then the other one is like 15. And like cool stuff like Secret of Mana 2, Secret of Mana, 1. Mother 2 was in one of them. They both have Mario Kart, the Super Mario All-Stars, which they call it 1, 2, 3, and 4, whatever it is. All this different stuff. Sailor Moon games. There was one that had a Dragon Ball Z game, like all that kind of stuff. The things that would be compelling to U.S. audiences, whether they could play it or not, right? It's still like, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 6, those kinds of things people really like. I love that game. I wouldn't mind having one just to put on my shelf. They're not expensive, whatever. So he kind of taught me how to do that, and he's been kind of showing me the ropes of how it all works. And so I wound up winning a couple of lots on Sunday. And it's going to take a little while for them to get here, so I'm always hesitant to talk about. Oh, we got to put it back up here.
Well, I don't know if I can.
I got it. Give it here.
I'll get it. Go ahead. Keep talking.
But so I'm always hesitant to talk about things until I have them in my hands. But I'm fairly confident this will all work out, and whatever. So, and so that's been kind of cool. Like I said, the highlights of those lots really were a lot of the Mario games, the Kirby game that has like the wood. He'll know the name of it.
Really neat.
What's that? Yeah, like that's one of John's favorite covers and mine too. And actually, it's funny. It's made that book over there that I bought super useful because I look at the cover of some of those games and I have no idea what they are. You know what I mean? Like I have no concept of what they are. So I have to go and understand what kind of game it is. And one of them had like this Tetris puzzle game that was like a green box with like a jack-o'-lantern on it. And I'm like, how would you ever know that's Tetris? Like that kind of thing. So it's just one of those things that I'm going to go pick the lots out, grab some stuff that I want for myself. Like one of them had Link to the Past in it. I'm going to keep that. That's for me. I'm keeping Link or Street Fighter 2 Turbo or those kind of things. I'll keep a copy. Again, they're not expensive, $25-$30 or whatever, complete in box kind of thing.
Neat to have them.
And they're just neat to have. And then like gives me something that's kind of a little different to take to a show to say, nobody here is really selling this stuff. If I make some money, great. If I don't care. It just kind of gets me on the other side of the fence as it relates to being a vendor, and it gives me something a little bit different that people don't always see.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then none of it's super expensive. Like there are expensive games in there. Like there was one that was like Battle Zek Den or something like that. It's like this beat 'em up with the all female protagonists and that kind of stuff. But it's like, how many people are going to come in there and go, I need a $150 Super Famicom game of something I've never heard of. Like that's. If I sell that, it would sell on like eBay or something like that. So anyway.
We never know. With some of these conventions you're going to, you might sell some of them.
You never know. So, but my point is, Kirby
Super Deluxe.
Yeah, Kirby Super Deluxe. And it also has really taught me a lot. So I've learned what games are what. Like, okay, this game is this game in the U.S., right? Like this game was Super Buster Brothers in the U.S. or whatever it was. Or I learned about like the copy of one of these Mahjong games has this anime girl on the front, and come to find out the artist of that was the guy who did Bubblegum Crisis, right? Like he's the artist for some huge anime thing in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's like a $10 game, but somebody who likes that show or anime would be like, oh, for $10 I'll buy that because so and so did the art or whatever, that kind of thing. So, but again, it's just really kind of interesting, peculiar stuff that you don't really see, or like we have the Americanized version that we're all so familiar with, and you look at it and you're like, oh, it's just the same thing but a little different. I don't know. So anyway, but that's kind of like the gist of my collection. And to John's point right there, when he talked about that wood grain Kirby box, it's very distinct, right?
Yeah.
Kirby Super Deluxe in Japan was Kirby Superstar here. So you start to learn what those things are, because what I've also realized, and I learned from John, thank you, John, is to say you need to be acclimated to what these things are. So if somebody walks up and says, this is kind of neat, what is it? I can say, oh, that's a Mahjong game, and it was, again, the artist is the artist who did blah, 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 or whatever it is. Or this is this game in Japan, but it was, it was fighting 18 holes or whatever, golf in the U.S. or whatever, that kind of stuff. You need it helps me to learn about those same games in a kind of a different way. So, yeah.
I have kind of a weird question about the Famicom stuff. Sorry, I'm like looking back at the box.
Yeah.
So when I pop that box open, I noticed. So that's the basic. long story long, that is the Japanese version of the Nintendo.
Correct.
But it's odd to me because if you look at it and you look at everything with it, so like it says family computer in English writing, but then everything on it is like all the stickers are all in Japanese.
Yep.
But then like the reset button is English. It says reset. And the power button says power. And the eject button says eject. That's just very strange to me. But all the paperwork in there is all Japanese.
I don't know if that is because, like on the device itself, sometimes I think it's because they don't want to change the manufacturing process. If they were to take that exact same thing and sell it in the UK or Australia or whatever it is, right? The box part, I don't understand it. I don't understand if it's is it? I think it sometimes is like proper nouns, like Nintendo is spelled out, and family computer. Those are trademarked things.
Yes.
Whereas like the rest of it is like information around it. You know what I mean? It's all, I don't know.
Were the Famicoms, were those sold outside of Japan? Because they were not sold here, because here they were the Nintendo Entertainment
No,
System.
it's the NES everywhere else, I'm pretty sure. I mean, not everywhere else, but like in the UK, it's the NES because they call it NES, right?
Yeah.
And it's certainly not the Famicom, and I don't think it's the Famicom anywhere else. But yes, so
We could grill John probably about that later. We can take it off the tracks when we call about the ratings.
is this kind of like how Doki Doki Panic was released here as Panic at the Disco? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like John's exactly. That's right.
I totally forgot Nintendo created Panic at the Disco. It's a great band.
Yeah, no, they're all a bunch of corporate pawns. Anyway, don't tell Kyle I said that. He loves them. But no, that's a good point. I've always kind of been curious that myself. Yeah, Famicoms are sold in Hong Kong. I've always been curious as to what's the delineation between kanji or Japanese writing or whatever it is, and when do you say, oh, it's going to be in English? Because there are certainly games that I put in and it's like, okay, this is in English. Why? Why is this, like, why is it? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, like some of those boxes are, the title is in kanji or Japanese or whatever it is.
But then when you put the
other
game
ones
in,
are
it's
like
in English.
Super Mario Kart. And you're like, okay, why does it say Super Mario Kart? Is it because it's a licensed trademark? Like, it obviously says Super Mario Kart right on it when another one has like a bunch of, hieroglyphics, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
I guess that was
be
just,
insensitive, but
I guess that was something that made me think, because you look at like traditional, like stuff that's out in the world now that we would recognize in America, and you see those things if you happen to come across like a Japanese or a Chinese ad.
yeah.
And normally, so like a Kit Kat, like that's a fairly popular snack food around, or chocolate thing around the world.
It says Kit Kat on it.
But if you look at a Japan one, normally it has Japanese writing or kanji style writing on it.
It's interesting because, like, think of that Zelda thing you just pulled out. The title of the game is in, again, I keep saying kanji, so I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's in. But then underneath it says the Hyrule Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's like, why? But I don't know. That's just how they design. I don't know. It's a great question. I've always been curious of that myself. So, but anyway.
We'll find that out later, possibly.
Yeah, we'll talk to
John's
John
got some time to study.
Yeah, and I keep convincing myself that I'm going to learn how to read Japanese. Man, that's a tall hill to climb, man.
You learned baseball.
I couldn't tell you what it is right now, but yes, Yakyu or whatever it is. Like the more I look at these games and understand the titles, then I go, oh, that means baseball. I could look at it and go,
I know Yakisoba makes great ramen.
oh yeah, they sure do.
That was literally the whitest and probably rudest thing I could say.
Yeah, well, you're the king of that. So
Oh, well.
anyway, so that's kind of it from a collecting perspective. It's just kind of like an adventure with that this week, and then getting the Famicoms, and that's really been it. I've also been fixing a lot of stuff. So I've gone through this, like I'm going through my basement fixing stuff, and I quite literally have. This is not an exaggeration in any way. I have 8 working Sega CD Model 2s.
Yep,
8.
he does.
They're all lined up, and I've been learning how to they all had different problems. I fixed all of them. I recapped Game Gear. I Frankensteined together a DMG-01, the original Game Boy, out of parts that I just had in a box. Mm-hmm. You work on them, and different parts are bad and different ones, and I just let me see if I can make one out of this, and I did. I fixed a few GameCubes. I've just found, I've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff, and it's just gonna, I think I'm just gonna put them in tubs in the storage, and then I'll take a couple of them with me when I do a show. Like I'm not in any hurry to sell them. But if people want them, like it's like these, I didn't actively pursue trying to sell these.
Yeah.
I've already found one guy that wants one and 4 other people who have asked me about them.
Well.
So it's like, anyway. John says a lot of times it was English because you didn't need so many characters. It's also why Famicom was almost always simplified kanji. So, interesting. That makes sense. Where you could write it would be easier to write it. It's less characters than trying to write it out in kanji or something like that. So maybe the sounds.
Do you think the consumer in Japan was like, sons of bitches, I can't read what this says, but it's so fun?
No, I think they could read it. I think unlike this country where most people in this country understand like English, they grew up learning both. There are a lot of games, like one of the games we'll talk about in this episode, that teach people how to translate Japanese phrases into English and stuff like that. Whereas who was that? Somebody liked or did something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, there aren't that many interactive games that teach you another language in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's more cultural that in other countries you learn different languages. Because think about it. If you live in Germany and you grow up speaking German, you're basically, and I'm not, please don't misconstrue this as true geography, but you're basically sharing a border with Italy, where they speak Italian, and Spain, where they speak Spanish, or Portuguese, or whatever, I know what it is. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to be multicultural there. Here, you're surrounded by, Ohio and Minnesota and whatever, right?
So you just have to learn
You just have to learn the nuance of the region.
the Midwest.
Anyway.
We could probably stop going down this.
Yeah, let's.
Way off the.
I think we should move on.
Should we
Now
move
that
on to
we're
the
40
show
minutes
topic?
in to the show topic.
Okay.
Why don't you tell the good people who probably heard the intro?
I was gonna say, could Robbie tell us what the show topic is?
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
I think it is. Robbie, you don't have to call. We've got it. Don't worry.
I can't fucking wait for Typing of the Dead!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Typing of the Dead.
The typing of the dead.
Bum, bum, bum. If they couldn't figure out by the keyboard in the two games.
Yes, the Dreamcast keyboard, which had 2 uses, I believe. You know what's funny, actually? As I was doing research for the show, there are a lot of games that work with the keyboard. A lot.
Really?
Whether it be the most efficient way to play the game or not, maybe another story. But I'm going to tell you, there were a lot more than I thought. So, yes, Typing of the Dead. We are going to focus primarily on the Dreamcast release for the US, but we will also discuss the PC release, the arcade release,
Which just blew my mind.
all kinds of stuff. So, Jay, why don't you tell me a little bit about the gameplay and story of Typing of the Dead?
Well, I'd say it like you do then. Type or die.
Type or die.
This should have been a Halloween episode.
Damn it.
Oh, well, too late. Hey, now we don't have to record an episode for Halloween. We can just replay this bullshit.
Yeah, we'll just put this up again. That would be hilarious.
Happy Halloween, everybody. We're doing Typing of the Dead.
Live stream.
There we go. It's ready.
There's a live stream from 4.5 months ago. Oh, so go ahead.
So, it is a first-person on-rail shooter.
What?
Yeah, no. Crazy, right?
Go on.
It's actually based off of House of the Dead 2. Or The House of the
The light gum. The light gun. Let me say it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
The light gun arcade game, which was also ported to a number of consoles.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about what do you do in this game?
You type.
That's the show, everybody. So you can find
We
us
have a link
on,
tree.
yep, exactly. All right, you type
You type.
or die.
Yes, or die.
So yeah, you want me to talk about this part a little bit? Okay, go.
So, AMS agents have been deployed to Venice. That would be in Italy.
Yeah, not Venice Beach, California, or anything like that. Also, I want to say this: I couldn't figure out what AMS meant.
I couldn't find it either.
I
tried
looked
looking
all
it
over
up.
the place. It just kept saying AMS agents, and I'm like, what is that? I know that they have the AM like development teams, but
It's the American Mob Monster Syndicate.
maybe it's the American Mob Syndicate. Maybe it is. I mean, the guys are all in zoot suits and whatever. Go ahead.
But yeah, they're in Venice, where the dead have risen. Conveniently, only in Venice.
So far, as far as we know, I mean, I
yes.
don't know. Like,
I mean, they're there on
hard to say.
vacation. So you play as James or Gary, trying to find G.
Right. And
Not like, what up, G? His name's just G.
No, so they go to look for this Agent G, and come to find out he's in some trouble of his own. So then they get out there and like, holy shit, this place is fucked.
It's all of his gambling debt, wasn't it?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. I don't know. I don't want to get into G's personal finance or life. But then they realize that the whole place is fucked and they have to help restore order, right?
Yes.
So they're trying to essentially what's happening is, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a guy, Goldman.
There's a guy, Goldman.
Yes, just Goldman, not Jeff, who apparently hates people.
Okay. Read that again without saying the word Jeff, because I don't want it in there.
I can't not
Yeah,
say
yes, you
Jeff.
can. You certainly can. I don't even know who Jeff Goldman is.
I don't know. He's fucking Jeff. Okay. There's this guy, Goldman, who apparently hates people.
Yeah, he wants to end the human rule of Earth.
Yes.
And he is some sort of billionaire tycoon. You know how those eccentric billionaires are. Sometimes they start electric car companies. Who knows?
And then they buy Twitter.
They have their own space shuttles. I don't know.
Oh, madness.
Anyway, go on.
Basically, you run through the streets, the sewers, drive cars, boats, and you're killing Goldman's creations, or these zombies.
So you've got the zombies, and then you have like these monsters that are also like,
Yeah.
you know, like the bosses or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So
And there's 6 chapters in the game. They all culminate or end with a boss on each level.
and some of them are interesting. So we'll talk about, we haven't really talked about how you play the game. Right.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I know, but like it's kind of leading to how this is. So we probably should talk about how you actually play the game, right?
So do tell.
The premise of the game, if you don't know, is you use the Dreamcast keyboard, and instead of using a light gun, you use the keyboard to type words that pop up on the screen to shoot zombies or bosses or whatever it is. And depending on how quickly or accurately you complete the word, you're rated on each word, right? Or you can get hit. You get a number of hits that you can get per level. And if you don't complete it in time, they'll hit you, and sometimes they'll kill you if they hit you too many times in a level.
And basically what happens is a zombie will come out,
They'll
and then
pop
a
out.
word will pop up on the screen that'll say
Yep.
alien. You have to type alien, or it'll say...
There'll be just letters like A, F,
Yeah.
D or something, and you have to type them. Or sometimes there'll be sentences.
Yes.
And it's not just letters or numbers. And I don't even know if they really do use numbers now I think about it, but it's
think it's just
usually
letters.
It's letters and then all of your punctuation. So there'll be commas, exclamation points, question marks, hyphens, those kinds of things. There are spaces between the words, but you don't have to type them. I thought that was interesting. It's kind of weird. I always want to type it anyway, and I always want to hit enter.
I kept hitting enter when we were
Yeah,
playing.
I know,
Every time I'm like, enter.
I want to hit enter, but yeah. And then basically what happens, like, so in the beginning of the game, the words are fairly easy. You have a lot of time, but as the game progresses, it becomes more difficult. And the words or phrases or sentences become more difficult to do. And the whole reason I kind of want to bring it up now is we talk about the boss battles. One of the boss battles is you actually have to answer a question. So like they'll say,
yeah, that's right.
they'll put a question out. The question will scroll across the screen, and then 3 answers will pop up on this triple-headed, zombie dragon or whatever the fuck it is, and you have to pick the right one and type it fast enough. So not only do you have to deduce the proper answer, but you have to type it efficiently enough so you do not get bit by the dragon. So yeah, that's fun.
They should make a microphone of the dead.
They do. It's called Rock Band, and I played it with Kyle. And man, they'll kill you. It's not true. It's not. That's not a real thing. Rock Band is, but the microphone of the dead.
You good at Rock Band?
I'm okay. What's that look for?
Nothing.
When was the last time you played Rock Band?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time I played Rock Band, Heather and I decided to play it in its entirety,
Yeah,
and that was years ago.
yeah. I don't want to get too far. I don't want to derail too far, but I'm going to say
digress.
no. I'm going to say I always like Guitar Hero better because I like the tactile click of the button, like the actual strum. Where I cannot deal with that soft button Rock Band shit. It drives me nuts. Anyway, neither here nor there. Agent of Mysterious Species. It was a Sega dev team, I believe. Maybe that's what AMS is. John out here with the drop in the knowledge. Perhaps, I don't know.
Agent of Mysterious Species.
I couldn't find
It's pretty good.
I know I couldn't find anything about what it was, but anyway, I did want to talk about kind of how you interface with this game. You have to have the Dreamcast keyboard. You absolutely must have it. You cannot play without it, right? There's no way. So, and you get rated on your performance, not only on each word. So they'll rate you an A, B, C, D, or E on the word, but at the end of the level, they'll rate you and say, you compared this well to the top 100 people, which I'm not sure where that comes from, because isn't this a recent outbreak? Like, there are 99 other people out there playing it and being rated on it. Like, maybe they're helping in other countries or cities. I don't know. But anyway, and then so you get rated on your performance and all that good stuff. And there are different modes for the game. So there's arcade mode, which is your standard playthrough, right? Like if it was House of the Dead in the arcade. Yeah. The original mode, which gives you items, so you can you can reduce damage from enemies, or you can heal, those kinds of things. I tried the drill mode today. It was very interesting. Drill mode is almost like it preps you for the game, where like there's a tutorial, which whatever, in boss mode. So I don't want to get into those too much. They're fairly obvious what those are, right? You go through the boss and learn how to beat it or whatever. Tutorial mode teaches you how to play the game. Drill mode was actually kind of cool because it's like these little mini games where it'll say, I want to learn how to type faster, or I need to respond quicker. And it'll throw these things at you in these challenges, and you have to rate at a specific rate before you can, like you have to get an A or a B or a C or whatever it is. And it just kind of gives you this pocket in time, like, oh, okay, you did this well, but these are the 5 letters you really fuck up on. And like one time I did it, and it was like P, T, E, H, and S. And I'm like, really? I screw up on those letters, like the home keys? Like, okay, cool, whatever. But it kind of teaches you where you're making mistakes and kind of helps you to get a little bit better at it. And it challenges you. It's one of those things that's like, it's almost like an arcade game, like you're trying to get the high score, right? It's a very short experience where like Pac-Man, you can go and play Pac-Man and go, oh, I got the pretzel level and I got this many points. It's almost like that, where it's like, it gives you part of the game and lets you master it, but also it's a challenging thing because one time you get a B and you're like, I really want to get an A, but getting an A means I have to do this 35 times instead of 16. So it becomes very difficult, but it's just kind of a neat way to kind of learn how to play the game. And I did enjoy that. But yeah, there's those 5 different games, or 5 different modes of the game. So a lot more to it than I think I originally expected. So yeah.
You have to do it. I can't do it. All right, we're 25% in.
Are we? Yeah, only an hour in, folks. No.
Yeah, because we had 4 pages on this one. Kobe. Oh, terrible.
Go ahead. It's not easy, bud. Try and get it all the way over there. Good luck.
Closer than you.
Yeah.
Actually, I threw it past it.
Yeah, you're trash. Oh. Why don't you go get in the bag?
You're like a raccoon.
Trash panda. Tell me a little bit about the background and development of this game, Jay.
Well, it was developed by WoW Entertainment and Smilebit.
Right.
WoW is now, of course, Sega AM1.
Tell me a little bit about what Sega AM1 developed. Really? A big long it's right in front of you.
I know.
You gonna make me edit that?
Yep. You're welcome.
You're doing it.
Okay. They actually did House of the Dead. The House of the Dead.
The House of the Dead.
I keep wanting to say House of the Dead.
The House of the Dead.
Wave Runner. And then Smilebit became Sega Sports R&D, who did Jet Set Radio Future, Panzer Dragoon Orta, and Virtual Striker.
Virtua Striker. Also, I thought it was interesting that they were responsible for a couple of Xbox games there, but they weren't even sports oriented. I guess roller skating is sports or whatever. Anyway. Uh-huh. And so the director of this game was Masamiru Shino, and he did mostly sports games. Like really a lot of his background in what he produced was sports games, but he also did Sonic R, which is a racing game, but in general and I guess that probably plays into the Smilebit part and the how it became what is now defunct, but the Sega Sports R&D. Yeah. But I'm guessing that he probably came from there because he really was involved with like all the sports, like the baseball games and
baseball.
Yeah. So
you didn't like that? They said baseball. So
baseball stars.
Thank you. That's what I wanted. So as far as the music and sound goes, so there is voice acting.
Hold on.
I use that loosely when I say voice acting. You got something for me?
Yeah, I got a little something for you for the voice acting,
you got
man.
For me there?
Oh boy.
Is it Robbie again?
I wish.
You're searching? So yeah, but they had voice acting. But
so I'm going to give you a taste of what the voice acting was like. And not only the voice acting, but this is a scene that most people should experience just because of the... You'll hear. I'm gonna play. This is about a 15-second clip or so here.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer.
Are
James. The car's parked in the city square. The top floor. Building at point A, 0063. He's there. Go, James. Thanks, Harry.
So Harry, one of the main protagonists of the game, right? One of the agents that's helping along with you as you, and we have not mentioned, walk around the city with a Dreamcast strapped to your back with a battery above it and a little hang shelf over your shoulders where you can put your keyboard, and that's how you defeat the enemy. Literally, that's what your character looks like in the game.
Yeah.
Harry is lying there dying. Okay, he's there with the girl. I forget her name. Gina. I don't remember. Harry's dying.
Why G's in this?
Yeah,
Gina,
I don't know. I don't even know if it is Gina.
Gary,
I don't know if it's Gina.
G,
Okay.
James. Go ahead. Harry's
Sounds
dying.
a little low. Yeah, sorry. I tried to pump up the sound as much as I could, but I couldn't. It didn't get much higher. It was the sample itself was a little low. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'll try to boost it in post production. Anyway, Harry is dying. He's laying there dying.
He definitely sounds like it.
Oh, well, they all sound like they're dying. Anyway. And he starts to go on about where this car is parked. It's an A0063, which seems like it would be like a important piece of information, right? But honestly, you don't do anything. You just run around typing. So it's never like they ask you later, what was it? You wind up in the next scene going to where the car is like, oh, there's A0063. Like it fucking mattered. Why even put it in there? Like,
It's even better because it's the only fucking car on the street.
But yeah, and my favorite, he
There's
goes,
literally one car on the
that
street.
must be it, he says. So my favorite is basically he's like, go James. And he talks to him like he's like, yeah, thanks, Harry. Like, see ya.
Thanks, buddy. See ya.
Yeah, sorry about the whole you're dying thing. It was just like this very dismissive, like, I'll see you later. No, you won't. He's dying. Okay.
He's dead.
It was just so funny to me. Fixed it in pre. I couldn't. I tried. But it was very funny. He was just very like, go James. And he's like, yeah, thanks, Harry. Like he just helped him fix a flat.
Have a good one, buddy.
Yeah. He won't though because he'll be dead.
Yes.
Anyway. So yeah, the voice acting is not great. It's very early 2000s voice acting, I'd say. Also, man.
I don't know if I'd say that's voice acting. I feel like they just walked out and was like, hey, can you read a script? Come with me.
I don't speak English, they said.
They're like, no, Harry, don't do it.
No. Thanks,
I think
James.
Harry's dead.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah.
See ya. No, it's and the other thing I also found while I played was it was very hard to hear the speech. Now that could have been because, like in this case, I was just playing it in mono because the TV only has the audio. But we did play it at the. I mean, it was the same way at the house, but I think it's because it's in mono right now too. But anyway, neither here nor there. Yeah. That might be why. It just didn't. But actually, you know what? No, because I ripped that clip from a playthrough on YouTube. And
we adjusted
it sounded like ass.
We adjusted it in the settings when we played
and
because we were
didn't sound
concerned
good.
about that, and it didn't sound any better.
No, it was awful.
Yeah.
So anyway, the music is very loud compared to the voice acting, which is probably on purpose. Now that I think about it, they're probably like, you know what?
That's probably a fair.
Bump that up 10 dBs so nobody can hear that shit.
That's probably a good assumption. So.
Anyway. So tell me a little more about the music and sound here.
Well, like we said, we had voice acting.
But
and then the composer was, and I'm going to butcher his name, Tetsuya Kawachi. I'm probably saying it wrong.
Tetsuya Kawachi.
Yeah, close enough. So didn't find I found a little bit about him, but he was actually the former Sega sound composer. He was most notable for creating the first two House of the Dead titles.
The House of the Dead.
And he was actually the leader of the AM1 sound team for many years, and it included the entire periods for WoW Entertainment and Sega WoW. And he had a laundry list. The bulk of them were the House of the Dead series.
The House of the Dead.
Yes, but he had a laundry list of games that he either produced or composed.
Do people like? Have you ever made a list about laundry?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that doesn't do this? Like, what do you put on it?
Socks, underwear, pants.
So you document all this prior to putting it in?
Yeah, and you check them off as you do them. Socks are done. Underwear done. Culottes done.
I'm assuming that terminology or phrase became kind of a colloquialism back when you had to like put the water in the bin and then bring over the scrubber and then put the, like the laundry list entailed not just dropping it in a washing machine, pressing a button and walking away. Because that's my laundry list now, is I just take the clothes and stick it in there. I'm just saying.
So
it's maybe an antiquated phrase and you'd come up with a new one.
Okay.
A tweet deck.
A tweet deck?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of modern things.
Oh.
Anyway, enough of that.
We could say it's he had a Famicom lot of titles that he worked on. So,
tell me a little bit about the release of this game, Jay.
So it was originally released in Japan on the arcade, which blew my mind when I saw the cabinet.
That was one of the most interesting things I think I learned.
It's wild.
When they showed the picture of the little candy cab with it's a custom cab
Yeah.
that has 2 keyboards. And I thought to myself, first of all, in this day and age, no one's touching that keyboard.
No.
A public keyboard in an arcade. Oh, yeah, we might as well just, here comes COVID-2,
Right.
electric deathaloo.
Well, it was ironic because the keyboards look just like the Dreamcast, like this Dreamcast one.
You mean like a beige keyboard
Yeah,
from
it
the
was
late
just a big beige, like
They were not-
IBM
Yeah.
Series 2 keyboard.
Yeah, they were very, they didn't gussy up the keyboards
Nope.
at all. They're like, let's go with the beige.
Bob, grab me a couple of them keyboards. Those broken
Cut the end off and put these Dreamcast connectors on
Hardwired
it.
in.
Yeah, can you put this right into a JAMA?
Can you run a drywall screw through it?
All right, here comes John dropping the facts, right? When you took your laundry to a commercial laundry establishment, you had to make a record of what you'd sent. This ensured both that you got back what you sent and that you paid for what you got washed. And that is where the laundry list comes in.
Yeah. Question my shit about socks. I make a list of my socks.
Yeah, when you drop them off at the laundry establishment.
How many times have you put your socks in the washer and then you open the dryer and you're missing socks?
First of all,
because you didn't account for the shit.
First of all of my socks are the same color, so I can never really tell.
Well, there you go.
Second of all, when you say that you drop your clothes off at the laundry establishment, you mean Heather, right?
So it was also released in Japan on the Dreamcast. March 30th of 2000.
Yeah. Oh, cool,
yeah.
cool.
And it came with keyboard.
It came with the keyboard?
I don't know. I'm just making that up. That was released.
I have no idea. I don't know.
It was released in the U.S. in January of 2000. So it was actually released
For the Dreamcast.
Yes.
That's got to be incorrect.
Yeah, it came out before.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It's got to be January 2001. That must have gotten edited. I must have flubbed that. There's no way that it came out here first.
We'll look that up. But it did, and then it came out.
Yeah, let's say that again. We're gonna say, do the U.S. Dreamcast again because we've screwed that all up.
I'll type
You
it
can
up.
look it up, but there's no way it came out here first.
Typing of the Dead.
I hate when you do this.
Why? Because I want to make sure it's right. That's all I'm doing. I'm just making
Yeah,
sure
go ahead.
it's
Tell me
right.
what it is. What does it say?
So, no, it came out in 2001.
Right, exactly. That's what
So
I'm saying.
it actually came out in Japan March 30th of 2000
Correct.
on the Dreamcast.
Start all over. Start all over from Japan Dreamcast.
Okay. So it came out in Japan on the Dreamcast March 30th of 2000. Then it came out in the U.S. on the Dreamcast January 23rd of 2001.
Yeah.
Yes. And then it came out on Windows and Mac
Later
in
that
the
year.
U.S. Yeah, later that year in September of 2000.
Yep. So this is a game. I remember this game more so from, I was big into computers, right? Like I was a big computer nerd at this point. Still am, but I was then too. Just like Mitch Hedberg would say, right? I used to be a big computer nerd. I still am, but I used to be too. I remember when this game came out on PC and people were like, oh my God, this is so cool, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm playing like Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 and shit. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I never really remembered it. No, that's not true because I did play this on, I burned a lot of Dreamcast games. I'm gonna bare my soul and tell people that I bootlegged Dreamcast games from Usenet.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, me and everybody else in the world. But so I remember actually having the keyboard, and this was one of the two reasons I had a keyboard. This and to run Linux. So yes, I did. I played it on both. I remember now. I was gonna say I didn't, but I was like, no, I know I did.
I loved House of the Dead in the arcade. I never played Typing of the Dead, though, until
I made you.
I'm sorry, the Typing of the Dead.
The Typing of the Dead.
Okay.
The House of the Dead.
So, tell me about the reception, Mike.
It's interesting. It's kind of all over the place. Hard to believe. I will say this. The Dreamcast game got very good reviews, right? Like, so IGN and Game Informer both gave it a 9 out of 10. And the PC, IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Now, other side of the ticket, PC World put it in its 7 runners up for their top 10 game hall of shame. They basically panned the shit out of it, right? This was like 2006. I don't remember when it was. 2006, I think, is when it was, though. And then Game Informer called it the weirdest game of all time in issue 180, which came out in April of 2008. Now, of course, that's before anybody could put a game up on the Switch eShop. So I think there are probably weirder games now.
Yeah, that's probably a good assumption.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it's just kind of a mixed bag, I think, is the way to put it. Like, some people really liked it, some people thought it was ridiculous, and some people thought it was ridiculous and really liked it. So, yeah.
Now we can find out. Oh, that was a very good rip.
What?
That was a good rip.
Thanks.
Rip.
I was trying to hit the bag.
You hit the bag.
Nailed it.
Wrong bag.
That was the wrong bag.
Either way.
All right. Time for the LGN game rating section of the show, or segment, as I would normally call it. I'm not sure why I said section.
I'm going to mix this one up. I'm throwing a loop on this one. I know you're surprised.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
So I know we've talked about the whole swaying our votes and decisions and all that.
John says, search for anything waifu on the eShop. Yeah. What about the waifu? What's the waifu? Why can't I think of the simulator or whatever it is? Anyway, go on.
I think John should go first tonight.
You want John to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call him.
And then you go second.
Okay.
Then I'll go. Then the birthday boy can go. We're going to call him the birthday boy today.
I'm trying to call.
All right, John, we're calling you. Get ready for John, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to find his.
Oh,
I'm doing too much stuff. You ready?
Where's his song now? I thought we weren't doing that one anymore. I thought we were doing the other one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the one, the only, Mr. Famicom himself, retro game enthusiast, John Young, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, John.
That Mag Max doesn't get old, does it?
No.
Yes.
Didn't I go first last week or 2 weeks ago?
Ask Jay. He's in charge of this segment. Talk to Jay.
That's fine.
We did a different song.
We'll fix it in post. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
We can't.
So we're here to talk about the waifu simulator.
Oh, yeah. The shooter, like which one? There's like 50 of them on there now.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's right. I can't just say it like that. It's like saying I like cereal. There's just so many good ones.
Exactly.
I could go for some cinnamon toast.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
Typing the Dead, I did not play the Japanese version. I did buy the Japanese version, but I couldn't find something to download to be able to play my Japanese version. So I had to download the U.S. version. I mean, pay full dollar price for the U.S. version.
Why, of course you did, John. Why would you do any different?
Yeah, exactly.
You are a great, upstanding citizen.
How would you even do it otherwise? I don't understand how you could.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's whenever you guys have VHSs. Whenever at the beginning, when it's like you're ruining lives by copying this VHS, you guys are like, "Oh my god,
I couldn't do that."
Money.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, the Hollywood producer isn't going to be able to feed his kids.
That's right.
Plus, they got copyright protection. You can't put a sheet of like a
Macrovision
paper.
I believe it was called Macrovision.
Oh, Macrovision, is that what it's called?
I think that's what they called the copy protection for VHS. I could be wrong.
Well,
so, John, what'd you think of the game?
There was physical. Yeah.
Who's moving the game along now?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was great. So I hadn't played this before. I always knew it was out there, and I like Mike, had a Dreamcast, but didn't have a lot of official titles. So I wasn't going to shell out the money for the keyboard, especially since I wasn't that interested in putting Linux on it. But playing it, and this is a little later than PlayStation era, where like Resident Evil bad voice acting and hand emotions kind of was like, all right, we get it. You can put voice in games, but you really can't like mocap these people.
You can, but should you?
But honestly, the voice acting was just bad enough, and obviously somebody was having a fun weekend with it, right? They had to pick up like a case of beer and just like, all right, come in here, you're going to be Goldman.
Exactly.
Problematic, but we're going to...
I know you normally clean the windows at this establishment, but today you're Goldman.
Well, and Goldman was the big bad guy, right? And like he was like, hey, friends, yeah, so I did some evil stuff and you caught me, and you know what? It's now time for me to jump off. But sorry, spoilers. It's now time for me to jump off a cliff.
That's one of many possible endings. 3, as a matter of fact.
And you know what I liked about this game? Because it was on rails, they could do so much fun, like camera sweeping and stuff that
yes.
really at the time they hadn't quite figured out right. You know, for like a game like Mario 64 did a pretty good job, you know, whatever, X number of years before. But there was some good cinematography. But some of the voices, like what was the little demon guy, like you know, Gargoyle Quest?
Yeah, I can't remember. The guy with the weird, they had that horrible effect on his voice.
He was like a chipmunk.
A bumblebee chipmunk is what he sounded like.
Yeah, and maybe he had a bit of like smoking, you know, related voice issues. But no, it was all kind of fun and campy. It was entertaining enough to skip over stuff. You didn't necessarily feel bad when somebody died. But yeah, as a whole, a lot of fun. What I liked about the typing part is that you had to really choose what words you typed first, because it popped up on the screen the first time didn't mean it's what you should type first, right? There's like faster moving enemies. That is
true. Yes, you have to make a decision as to, is this person going to come at me fast, or am I going to have to wait because something else is going to come after it that's going to come even faster, right? Like it's very true.
And honestly, that last chapter, the future zombies, was surprisingly it looked great for the time. Like
I thought the game in general looked really good for like early Dreamcast. There wasn't really late Dreamcast, but
right.
But it, you know, this game came out 16 months after the Dreamcast came out, right? It came out in 99, and this was January of 2001. So I thought this game looked awesome. I mean, let me say this: there are a lot of games from that era that look way worse.
Right. And I can say, and this is, mine looked a little washed out, but I did use a Retrobit modern S-video input.
Okay.
So maybe that's the reason, because when I did see video, even the stuff behind you guys doesn't look as washed out as what I had. So
yeah.
But as a whole, I found it really enjoyable. It's a fairly short game. It's one of the best edutainment games I can think of. Sorry, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. But like legitimately, I remember in the 90s wanting to be better at typing and like playing some stupid games you could download from like AOL's like arcade section or whatever else, you know. But this is one of the best gamifications of learning that I really think that ever happened. Unfortunately, it was mature, so you had to be 17 years old to be able to actually learn to start typing. But I'm going to say, for me, this is a 4. It's a low 4, just because the replayability and the fact that people that didn't learn how to type, it can teach you how to type, but by the time that you learn enough to type, I don't feel like you're going to want to clear the arcade mode. Let
me ask you this. Did you play any of the other modes? Like I talked about the drill mode.
So the boss mode, so the three-headed dragon thing definitely kind of threw me off. It moved around so much that I'm reading it, and by the time I get to the third one, so like essentially if it was one of the first two So, and I think you explained this already, but essentially, it asks you a question, and each of the heads has an answer, and you had to select the right answer. So it'd be like, which of these lays eggs, or which can fly, or
Right.
something along that
Which of
line.
these is an animal? And it would say trash bag, raccoon, and then like popsicle. And they're all moving around.
Right.
And you have to choose the right one and type the answer, possibly with a question mark or an exclamation at the end.
And that, to me, like, that was maybe the hardest one, just because, like, you have to kind of get a sense of how they move around the screen. By the third one, if it was the third one that I read, then I probably wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was pretty good. I can say I really liked how the boss battles worked. Sorry to step back, because they actually made it interesting, and each one had its own quirks. There's the one that was chasing you. I think it was the
it's the big chainsaw dude.
Oh, yeah,
Chainsaw
yeah.
dude.
He was, yes,
But,
exactly.
like,
I'm going to grab a drink.
what was that story? Plus, it was early enough to where you don't like they just throw in some of the weirdest like phrases. I can't even think of any of it. It was like I think I told some kids to like dig up like a cemetery.
Yeah, it was something weird. It was
And
super strange.
I was telling Mike this earlier. Like, I'm really good at being able to type stuff without really thinking about it. But as I'm typing it and like remembering what I typed, is like, did I just tell some kids to? I gave them a treasure map in a cemetery and told them to start digging.
Well, that and the crazy piece with it is, even though you don't have to focus on the guy with the chainsaw, you do, and ultimately you
Right.
don't. You just need to follow. You just need to follow the story and type what it's telling you to type. But you're so worked up with that guy with the chainsaw coming at you. You're like, oh God, I got to do this before he gets. And you don't even have to worry about him. But you just get wrapped
Right.
up with him.
You never have to really pay attention to what's going on. All you have to worry about is the words that pop up on the screen, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you're like, if I don't type him fast enough, this guy's going to hit me with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Hey, Bart, you like my new hockey mask and his chainsaw or whatever? You know, like that kind of thing? Sorry.
And I looked it up afterwards. So once again, spoilers. So my first ending, he did a bungee jump and then farted. And I was like, surely I fucked something up. Like, I did some sort of special thing.
That can't
I
be
guess
the
it's-
right ending.
You did a bungee jump and farted?
Yeah. So like, so there's 3 questions at the end. So when you beat the emperor, if you answer them either truthfully, crazily, or lie, there's different endings. So the first one I got was the bungee jumping, and the second one was the Superman. So
Oh.
Yeah. There's 3 different endings. That's correct.
I knew there was 3 different
Sorry.
endings, but I didn't realize. I never actually looked to see what they were.
So MFN Tech Box says, what's going on this side? Some folks will
feel free
never
to cut that
lose a
if you don't-
toe, and then other folk will, like Cletus the
Yeah.
like John Yokel. Good.
No, so feel free to cut that if you don't want to spoil it for people. But at the same time, it was funny because Goldman, like, he's still like, hey, friends, yeah, so you got me. I'm not going to be able to destroy the world. Now I perform my last death scene.
So- Let me say this. 2 things.
Mhm.
Number 1, to spoil this, people would have to listen. So we don't have to worry about that. Number 2.
We got a couple people.
Number 2.
Valdor will listen until you send that Tetris. I'm sure of
Oh,
it.
fair enough.
That's probably the only reason he's hanging out.
Yeah, he's like, please, God, I
my
don't want to
Tetris
have to
on the way
endure
yet.
any more of this. Number
I
2,
want to someday play this Tetris game.
I'm sorry, but like, there has to be some sort of I don't know, time frame set on this. This game is over 2
Statute of
decades old. Yes, there's a statute of limitations on spoilers. This game is over 2 decades old, and you can burn it for free if you know what the fuck you're doing. So it's not my problem if you haven't watched an hour-long playthrough of this game or played it and figured out how it goes. Now you've had over 2 decades.
You can actually pull a video up of just the endings. It's like 4 minutes.
You can,
So
but that'd be spoilers, man.
it's
Right?
2 decades.
Nobody does that.
Anyway,
2 decades.
go on. So yeah. So if we got you down for a 4.0.
Yeah.
Great.
It's a low 4.0, just because there are people that won't be able to play it because my wife's a Hudson Pecker. Cut that. There's not a lot of. I don't think there's a ton of replay value. Like after like a couple playthroughs, you're like, all right, I'm done with it. Although,
But you'll-
I do think that if you're
Good. No, go ahead.
No, the edutainment end, I do think that there's a lot of value there. That if you are a kid that your parents are like, I don't care, play the zombie game. This will teach you how to type.
It will, or be eradicated by a zombie.
Oh, well, yeah.
You might be gutted.
You know, yeah, at least as long as you don't care that your friend just died in front of you. Like, I 100% like that scene that you were talking about.
Nobody
like,
was
dude,
heartbroken. Harry died.
It was so funny because he just walked off all casually, like, "Thanks, Harry." Like, oh, by the way, Harry is now dead. He couldn't hear you because he's dead.
Maybe.
It was so like laissez-faire. Like he just like was like, "Thanks." He just walked off.
Maybe Harry was the asshole know-it-all friend that they just couldn't stand.
Yeah, deep
And then
down,
finally at the end he was nice and he was like, the car's parked in A spot."
0063.
And they were like, "Oh, hey, thanks, Harry. We're surprised you're finally not a dickhead."
What an oddly specific piece of information to provide at your deathbed.
Yeah.
He's that tropey character, right? That always is like, "Hey guys, we're friends," and then like everybody's like, "All right, screw you, David." You know.
Yeah, we were friends until you died, and then the truth came out. Anyway.
Yeah, it's that
There you go.
what the TV show tropes got those. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I honestly enjoyed it more than I expected to. I can see why this game is as expensive as it is. Some company, 8-bit dough or something, has to come out with a cheap Dreamcast keyboard so more people can play this. Although it's a PC game, and I'm sure you're going to get into that. So.
Yeah, there are ways to
price-wise.
certainly, we'll discuss that, but there are certainly ways you could play it otherwise.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Anything else? Pick up anything good? You spent a lot of time consulting me.
I picked up some good stuff. I completed the Famicom small NES Pulse Line set, which also then completed my small box set, which includes the Famicom Zapper games, so Duck Hunt, Wild Gunman, and Hogan's Alley.
Nice.
So I got all those. Pretty excited about that. What else? I picked up some cool ads, like your ads, but nothing too nuts though. And yeah, that's it. Nothing worth talking about.
So the Pulse Line set, before you go, I do want you to kind of elaborate. So when people are listening, explain what that is. I've seen the carts and I understand, but yeah, explain what the Pulse Line set is from Famicom.
Yeah, so Famicom box, if you had a boxed Famicom, you would see them on the side of the box. Essentially, it looks like a pulse on the side.
Like a heartbeat off of the EKG meter or something like that. Like an actual pulse from a... Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like it's like a straight line, then it goes up and down, then it comes across.
I actually didn't know that.
And those are the Famicom's black box, essentially. So
Okay.
there's 13 of them. All came in the small box except for Devil World, which actually came in a slightly larger gray box. And most of them, I'm trying to think of. So Donkey Kong Jr. Math, obviously an expensive game, no matter what region, except for apparently Hong Kong, because I got a great deal on that.
But you can't get all the
there's
tabs,
also-
I heard.
No, I got all the tabs. It's great.
Oh, good.
I like fake because of that. But and then there's also there's another game that most people don't know about. Popeye Teaches English. but
Yes,
they
I
didn't
do
sell
know.
it here.
See, and this speaks to what I was talking about, where there are a number of games that teach Japanese-speaking people how to speak English. But I don't know of a single game that teaches English-speaking people Japanese.
Your son, maybe not Japanese, but your son's a fan of a video game series, the Dora games, which
Yeah.
you kind of teach people Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, and that sorry, this goes back to your question earlier, and I think you touched on it through my comments, but it's just easier to put English characters because there's only 26 of them. 27? There might be an accent and goo in there
I
somewhere.
mean, I'm looking at this keyboard. It's got more than that.
Well, yeah. But so because it's representative of sounds as opposed to pictures, it's just easier. You don't have to put in
Correct.
2000. There's Konikonda, and I can't remember what the other one's called, but the simplified Japanese characters will fit on a Famicom cart, but also if you're going to port it over and try to sell it to the Americans, you might as well have it in English already.
Yeah, you might as well, like, you're halfway there, right? And so Asa asked a good question. I've actually read about this a bit, and I need to reacclimate myself. But the popularity of Popeye in Japan, like that is one of the most. It's a very peculiar thing that Japanese people have this affinity. I think that it's it's just something that's North American U.S. based that they really like for some reason.
I bet it has something to do with the Japanese base there, the American base there. Because I have a couple of friends that were in the Navy that actually were stationed there in Japan. So maybe it's kind of like, that's that.
Oh, because he was in the Navy?
Goofy. Yeah, exactly.
Popeye was in the Navy,
Similarly, Donald Duck is super popular in Scandinavia. He's like, there's a Finnish artist that paints him into fancy paintings all the time.
That's because they all have bad attitudes.
Remember how you were saying we need to stay on track?
Yeah. I think we're off the rails.
Scandinavian, like Donald Duck.
Yeah, the Finnish Donald Duck reference. I think it's probably time to set sail on the call. What do you say?
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, it's time for me to get booted off again.
No, I'm not booting you off. Don't say that.
It was a bad joke.
All right.
Is the Mag Max ending music? Is that we're gonna send me off with?
This?
There we go. Yeah. All right, Jim. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Retro game enthusiast John Young, everybody.
Mr. Famicom.
The Famicom box himself. All right. So now I gotta go next? Is that what you're saying? That's what you said.
You were Robbie. I guess I can go too. I don't know.
I don't
You
care.
always are concerned about you feeling swayed by the other scores.
I feel like I still
so
don't
I'm
know.
gonna put you towards the front.
I think I know what my score is on this game, and I feel like I also want to talk about this for a second. I feel like I scored things too high sometimes.
You want me to give my score then?
No, but I think I know what my score is. I'm pretty confident in what it is, and I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna give this game a 4.5.
Damn.
Okay. And I scored things high. I know that. I know but we seem to talk about things that I like a lot, even when sometimes I don't pick them, although I did pick this one. And I'm going to say it's a 4.5 because, to John's point, not everybody can play this game. Touch typists, you have to be able to type to play this game. Mm-hmm. Okay. Which nowadays is much more prevalent than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, when this game came out, not a lot of people were touch typing. Not a lot of people were using computers. Not to the extent that it has permeated society to this day, where literally every person that goes into an office has a computer. Not every person, you know what I mean? A vast majority of people have a keyboard in front of them at their desk, and they have to learn how to type like that kind of thing.
I feel that's kind of inaccurate. Because I think about it so I graduated high school in 95. You were 93.
Yeah.
And we had to take typing.
Yes,
we had to actually take legit typing classes.
We did.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't have to.
Deegan just graduated high school. Harrison, Connor, none of them took typing classes.
You don't have to because it's part of society now. You don't have to take a typing class because you have a computer at home, or you've had a computer at home, and you've learned how to do that from either your phone or whatever it may be. It's a ubiquitous thing now that people do. It's how people communicate.
Well, we don't teach that.
They don't have to, is what I'm telling you. My son never learned how to go to typing class, or neither did Harrison, but they can type. That's what I'm saying. This was new technology. We did it on keyboards and fucking word processors. Yeah. We didn't even do it on computers, is what I'm saying. So that has permeated society, is what I'm getting at. So
I guess I'd have to pay attention because I think about it from they don't have the class, because when we learned to type, they taught you the proper,
right?
I guess the secretary style of typing back then,
right? Where
I haven't paid attention to my kids because they didn't have the class. So my assumption is they just go.
Scarlett is 16 years old.
Can she just go to town?
She types.
Okay.
I've seen her type.
Well, that was my question because I guess I haven't paid attention to either one of my kids when they type. I never thought about it.
Because how did you do your homework? You wrote it by hand.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, they do everything.
They usually submit it digitally, electronically a lot of times too. It just depends. So anyway, that's. I think when this game came out, it was less accessible to people. It is more accessible now, I really believe, because more people have that connection between a keyboard and a monitor where they didn't before, or whatever it is. So
that's true.
But I'm giving this game a 4.5 because I feel like
you give this fly a 4.5.
Yeah, I'm giving that fly a kick in the ass. I have always been a proponent of this game. I like this game. I always thought it was fun. I enjoy the campiness. I think that it's well done, right? I think that when sometimes you go for irony or campy or funny and you can miss the mark, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the future here.
Yeah.
But I think that it hit kind of all those boxes. Now, again, I don't think I can give this game a 5, right? Because in order to play it, you have to have a Dreamcast, you got to have a keyboard, and you have to have a copy of the game, whether it's a legitimate licensed copy or not.
Yeah.
So the point of entry is a little higher than normal. Okay, you can't I would say you can't emulate this game, but fuck, you can. Okay,
Yeah.
you can emulate a Dreamcast, and then fucking you got a keyboard built into your computer, but you don't understand what I'm saying. This is not something you could just like. If you have a Dreamcast and you burn this, you still have to have a keyboard. Now, they do make an adapter. It's called a Brook adapter or something like that. And it's like a $45 thing that you can hook up to Dreamcast two USB keyboards to a Dreamcast.
Yeah, they make them for all kinds of stuff. That was why when I got into that arcade stick.
Yeah,
That's where I started going down the hole on those.
Right, but you don't have to use a Dreamcast keyboard nowadays in order to play this game. There are adapters out there that will let you use any keyboard, but you still have to have a $45 adapter. Okay, and we'll talk about how much a Dreamcast keyboard is when we get to collecting, which it's not in there, it's in my head. But anyway, so I'm giving this game a 4.5. And I really do love this game. I think that, I will get to your opinion, but you had never played this game. Nope. And it's a game I love to show people because it is funny and it is campy and it's stupid, but it's also, it is, and I have to say this before I finish with my review. It is the most anxiety-inducing game I've ever played in my life. I have played a lot of games that can kind of like control your emotions or provide this like anxious feeling, right? There's nothing more anxiety-inducing than sitting there and being like, oh my God, I have to type the word, Papadopoulos, and then you're like, you've missed the key. You're like, oh my God, somebody's gonna give me
Yeah.
It's like this constant barrage of anxiety coming at you, and it's in a good way, in a safe way, not in a bad, overwhelming, the world is going to eat me alive way.
And that was probably the intent, mostly the intent for the game. I guess I should talk into the mic.
I like any game that can make you feel a specific way, and this game makes me feel a specific way. Like I get those butterflies, like fear in my stomach, where I'm like, oh my God,
I get all the tinglies in my good bits.
Yeah, exactly. So. John says he's on your side about the typing thing, but I'm going to say that kids don't need to be taught how to type nowadays. They just know how to do it because they grow up around it.
They
right?
just need to be taught common sense.
They don't need to be taught how to use a remote. They don't need to be taught how to, like stream Netflix or any of that stuff. They don't need to be taught any of that stuff because it's part of their lives. It is just part of society now, how things work.
Yeah, true.
Right? They just take the things for granted. Like you don't have to go to a record store and buy a vinyl record to listen to an album. I can just listen to it anywhere. Yep. That's just part of society. So anyway, Majora's Mask gave me anxiety. Yeah, the prices of Majora's Mask give me anxiety nowadays, but not here.
Hey, backing up a little bit, Valdor said he was talking about Popeye. During World War II, a lot of the episodes involved him fighting the Japanese. Oh, I didn't know that. Don't apologize. You did not get us off track. We do just fine on our own.
I will also say
you
that
just helped contribute to trying to get us wrapped up in an answer.
He said it feels like it might change because tablets are becoming more prevalent. Absolutely. Amy's class, they all have iPads that are assigned to them, and they use them and they put them back and charge them at the end of the night. You still have to understand where the letters on the keyboard are and how to type words. That is how you learn that Q is up in the top left-hand corner and T is right at your, like right above your home keys or whatever the hell it is.
The tablet piece I can see because most times I have paid attention to my kids with like the iPad and stuff, they hold it like a giant phone and they type with their thumbs.
Yep.
So,
but I'm saying you get acclimated to the interface.
Yeah.
It's like playing Resident Evil, man.
I think honestly, I think it's
anyway.
That's probably an argument that'll go until the end of time.
So my question for you is this: before we jump ahead to who else,
go ahead.
Who's
You want me to do mine, or you want
to? I mean,
You want to do Shazimi?
What do you think? What did our boy Sashimi Z have to say about this game?
I'm sure he probably gave it like a 5.
Yeah,
he's a dickhead.
You don't have any notes?
No. Did he not give you anything?
No, he didn't.
Oh. All right.
Maybe
actually, I think I do have notes. Hold on.
No, maybe we should just ask like one of the people in chat. We could put them in the infographic. What do you think?
I don't like him. So, yeah, I'm good with that.
All right. We didn't get anything from him in time anyway, so You know, if it, like, let's say Valdor, I know you're out there, right, Asa? If you have a review of this game and you want to be in the infographic,
Watch him be like, I've never played this.
I don't have a
I didn't even know
Dreamcast.
about it. I didn't even know about it until 45 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, I have a job. I don't have a Dreamcast. Anyway, yeah, let's. I mean, you know, if somebody wants to throw us a review, toss it at us. We'll put it in there. If not, I've never played it, but I'll give it a 3.5. Thanks, Robbie. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Asa that said that. Anyway, speaking of Robbie, now that we know that, we got Asa down here for a 3.5.
Done.
You want to go or you want Robbie to go?
I go. Let Robbie go last.
All right, we'll let Robbie go last.
He decided what his grade was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I
You know, he was probably sitting in his room one day. And he looked at that game and he said, "Yeah, we're going to play that game. I'll give it the score." That was in
if anybody ever
that
asks,
was in like
it's a 4.5.
2017. That was in like
Yeah,
2017.
yeah. If anybody
before
ever
this even came out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's just sitting there one day. He's like, if anybody ever asks, this is a 4.5. Anyway, go ahead. So, Jake, what did you think of this game? I'm going to say this.
I've been the biggest antagonist to this game.
I was just going to say, I want to start by saying, when I first introduced the idea of this game to you, you immediately were like, that is fucking stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. There's no way I'm ever going to like that game.
Yeah. I
So,
did.
part of what I like about this game is when somebody comes to me with that attitude and then I say, cool, let's play it one time. What did you think of this game?
The stupidest fucking game. I'm joking. No, it was.
But seriously, it was.
It was. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Okay. You didn't hate it as much as you thought you would.
No, I legitimately thought I was going to play this for 18 seconds and be like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever played in my life.
Let me ask you
It
this.
wasn't.
I'm glad to hear that. Let me ask you this. Would you say that this game won you over? Considering where you were and where you are now,
Yes,
I would say
yes.
that's winning you over.
Yes,
That's my
it won
opinion.
me over.
Okay, all right.
And I 100% get your level of anxiety. And that's why I brought it up when John was talking about the chainsaw guy. Because he's chasing you.
Right.
And you really don't have, you don't have to pay attention to shit about him. But you get
don't.
so wrapped up in the game, you're watching him and you're like, oh my God, I got to watch this. And I got to make sure I type the right answer. He's going to kill me.
This game literally could just be a white screen and the words could come up, and if you don't type them fast enough, the game ends.
Yes.
It doesn't have to have all the other stuff in it.
Absolutely.
It literally does not matter what happens, but it does, though.
Yes.
Like you said, they're chasing after you. You can't run. It's just like the whole car thing. Oh, it's an A0063, you say. Well, let me head right over to the parking lot and find it. It didn't matter.
It was the only car.
But not only is it the only car,
yeah, and it
but you're
didn't
not
matter.
driving to get there. You're not. You're just like, next thing you know, show up at a parking lot and the guy walks right into it. Here's A0063. You didn't do anything.
No.
You just heard it from the guy, listened, and then instantly found it.
Yeah.
There was not a piece of information I had to leverage later to solve a puzzle. No. Go ahead.
It was,
I know what you're teetering between.
I liked it. But I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was really in the middle of the road.
Would you play it again?
I don't know. I don't know because I loved the House of the Dead.
The
in
House
arcade.
of the Dead.
I loved it in the arcade. It was a blast. I thought that was the funnest game. And you get all the campy, the terrible acting and or voice acting. You get all of
The
that.
good,
in
bad.
game. Yes, you get all of that. The only thing I didn't, I agree with you and John as far as from a learning game, because it did. It made me realize I don't really type that much anymore. Like when I send emails at work,
Yeah.
it's 2 or 3 sentences, and it's like, I need this done and this done. Thanks. And that's it. And it's like when I'm on my phone, it's a quick blip text. Where with that, you really had to. There was times I'm reading on the screen and I'm like, holy shit, why can't I type talk?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to rush because there's a zombie coming at me.
You know what it did to me? I usually type with like 2 to 3 fingers on each hand, right? I can type with all 4, but like when I'm actually typing, like you talked about an email, I'm usually using like 3 fingers.
That's basically.
I don't
I'm
usually
like,
use
da,
my
da, da,
pinkies,
da, yeah.
but in this I had to. This got me back to proper form to say, oh man, I'm never gonna reach that apostrophe without my, or I need to get up to the Q, and I can't use like the
Yeah.
3rd finger. I'll lose where I am at home, and I have to be able to do the rest of the stuff.
It's almost it's almost like an early version of learning Guitar Hero. Because when I first started playing Guitar Hero, I couldn't do the pinky one. You probably could. You play guitar.
Yes, I could.
I don't. And when
But I
I
can see what
first
you mean.
learned, it started out I could only do 3 because I couldn't do the pinky.
Yeah.
So what I would do when I play, if I played it on hard,
move.
I would move my third finger down.
And how often would you lose the yellow and red and green
As
because
soon-
you're hitting the orange with
Well,
your
the problem is as
ring
soon as
finger.
I would get it where I would fuck it up once,
Yeah.
you're done.
Yep.
Where
Oh, absolutely.
once you learn to play with your pinky, if you screw it up, you could still keep going. You're not going to lose it.
Yeah.
But that was, I feel like that's what it was. There were things I just, so after I played, I watched you play, and there was, that was, I think, one of the things that kind of drove me down on it. If I was watching you play The House of the Dead, you get the entertainment of watching the zombies coming at you. You get the whole story with everybody. But with this, you don't, because the typing box is right in the center of the screen.
Yeah, I could see that.
And 90% of it is blocking like the actual graphics of the game.
Would you say that if you were, let's say you were a better typer, do you think you would have enjoyed this game more?
No, I don't think that would have
Okay.
changed it really.
I'm just curious because I know I'm like I'm an above average to good typer.
Yeah.
But I could see where somebody who wasn't very good would be like,
would I make
"Arr."
it 3 levels maybe? Did I even make it
Yeah,
that
I
far?
don't think you made it that far.
So. No, I made it to the 3rd boss.
Maybe.
And I shit
Was
the
that the
bed.
one with the dragon heads?
I don't remember which
I
one
don't
it
know.
was.
Whichever one that was, you're like, here.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't
Yeah,
read.
I was like,
I
I'm
can't
out.
read the question and answer it and type it before I get bit by some stupid ass dragon. Anyway.
But no, it definitely wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
It's not, I guess that is kind of the other downfall piece, is it's not from what you do in the functionality, it's a different game, but it's the same game as the House of the Dead.
The House of the Dead.
They're the same games, other than how you're functioning on it.
Well, technically it's 2.
Well, yeah, House of the Dead 2.
The House of the Dead 2.
Thank you. So, I mean, that was kind of it's a different game, but then it's not.
Right.
Because it's the same bosses. It's all the
Right.
same.
You're like, I've
Yeah.
seen all this. It's
Yeah.
just a different interface.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
So
let me ask you this. If you were to rank this game, let's say on a score basis, let's say that you have the score is 0.5 to 5.0 in 0.5 increments.
I can't go like a 3.3.
You can, but I'll just round it up.
Okay.
So tell me what you think of this game from a rating perspective. Let's say in the Lost Joystick Network game rating perspective.
You're really trying on this one. Look at the sarcasm on pretty thick.
No. Yes.
3.0.
3.0.
3.0.
3.0. Okay. I like that Asa has never played it yet. He ranked it higher.
No, maybe
if
that's
he
why,
played it,
'cause
he would
hasn't
make it a
played
3.0. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I type with my thumbs. This
Their
shit
boxes
sucks.
were in the way of the cool graphics. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's why I only gave it a 4.5.
That chainsaw dude was the precursor to Uncharted.
I want to play. I'm going to play those games. Those are next. I'm playing.
Oh yeah, because you got a
for.
PS5.
I'm playing Horizon. Oh, I didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, you
Oops.
didn't.
Hey, real quick.
Cat out of the bag.
Yeah. So, hold on. Collecting update. I forgot to mention that I got a PS5 with Horizon Forbidden West in it. So yeah.
And back to the episode. By the way,
So
I'm
if anybody wants to
offended-
add me on PlayStation Network, my screen name is MPitts, MPITTS.
By the way, I'm offended. You think I don't have a Dreamcast? Oh no, I absolutely think you have a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I just would assume you wouldn't have Typing of the Dead because it's not that good of a game.
Yeah, John's happy he's not the lowest score, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
He got railed on for the whole Kung Fu debacle.
Well, that's
And-
because he had terrible taste on Kung Fu.
Yeah, what can I say? And then I agree with John. So I have all the Uncharted games on PS3, and I want to play all them. Like I just started this Horizon Forbidden West, which I like. I didn't play Horizon New Dawn or whatever it is. It came with the PS5, so I didn't even tell the story about how I want to put 2 of them, but that's fine. It's for another day.
No.
But oh, that's a good point. Okay, so let's finish the game rating and then I'll talk about it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna play Uncharted. Let's call.
The Birthday Boy.
Yeah, well, soon 2 hours and 15 minutes for him, but yeah, let's give Robbie a call here.
I feel like we should play the birthday song by the Beatles.
I don't have that available.
Oh, you suck.
Also, who are they? What is that? Go ahead. Yeah. One moment, Mr. Robbie Kilman. All right, let's get our.
Ahoy, hoy.
And now, from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, hailing from Gurney, Illinois, the one, the only, 8-Bit Supremacy Robbie Coleman. Really working on that intro for you, bud.
Yeah, I like how you slipped in Gurney, Illinois there. That was a little Easter egg on my normal intro.
That's right. I figured I'd toss in like just a little bit of personal information so people can find you and kill you.
I'll still give him. I'll still give it the music. So Robbie's music's great. We need to find John something that's going to be in his wheelhouse. I think my intro for Robbie or for John was better than Robbie's. Than your intro. For Robbie.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be tough to top that music. That is the music, yes, I think. But I'm saying my intro that I just gave for John a few minutes ago, I think was better than the intro you just gave Robbie. Number one, you're wrong. Okay,
I think we should have a vote for that. Can we make a vote? We need to make a vote infographic for that.
All I can say is this: you can't compete with that music. You can't
take the music out. The intro, just the intro. I'm dissecting this.
First of all, no, you're wrong.
My intro is better than yours.
It's very nice that you think that. Robbie,
hey guys.
Robbie, what do you think?
What's up?
Robbie, what do you think about the intros?
We were going to argue until it's your birthday.
When you're done arguing amongst each other,
well, John says he votes for Jay, of course. Anyway, Robbie, how you doing, bud?
I'm all right, man. I'm sorry I missed the last one. I've been a busy boy lately, so
that's okay. How was
summertime and all these extra events? Craftwork was phenomenal.
That's all. I've never seen them.
We didn't know what to expect, but it was phenomenal. They knocked out of the park.
That's funny. Nice. I went and saw Beck years ago, and when I went to the show, I was like, I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Is it just going to be him sitting there with a guitar? And it was one of the greatest shows I ever saw in my life. So you just never know.
The same way. I was like it's gonna be his 4 guys standing at like podiums with synthesizers like the whole time, but it was awesome.
Still amazing.
Whole video, there's a video thing going on behind them.
It was
great.
Basically Typing of the Dead, but they had actual keyboards and not computer keyboards.
Yeah, exactly like that.
It was just like Typing of the Dead.
They could have put straps around their necks and guitars.
They used to have those, like for the keyboards. And
Funky Cold Medina.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. So,
tell me a little bit of what your thoughts are on this game.
Well, first of all, I want to clear the air here that I'm glad you guys actually picked a game that I fucking played because the past 2 times you guys just keep picking games and I'm just like, never played it, don't have time to play it, but I'm going to rate it anyway. And then I get shit on for it now. Being the guy that doesn't play games and just is on a podcast.
I think we need to have some more collaborative meetings about what will be
what I'm
next.
Getting at. You guys are dictating that shit. And I'm just like, Gex, what's a Gex? I don't know.
Can we put a pin on that for the Monday meeting?
Let's do this.
Parking lot that.
Let's all agree that we have not determined the subject of the next game, and this is a good part of the reason why. I want to be more inclusive as it relates to that. Generally, we leave it to the guest, or we just have a list that we kind of pick from. I don't necessarily want to pick the game because I'll generally pick something I like, and that's boring. So I want to leave it up to the 4 of us to determine what the next subject will be. And if we can even agree during the show, that's fine with me.
Are we going to call John after we're done with Robbie?
No, you can text it up to us in the box there, and Robbie can too.
Says no.
No, he had his chance.
Also, I mean, the Phalanx episode almost got me to play my copy of Phalanx, but now the ship has sailed and it's probably going to sit in the queue for another year or 2 before I fire that.
Asa says we still have to have the Rarity watch party. We really do have to put that on and rail the shit out of it.
We're not doing that.
Why not?
I mean, I don't really care. You guys can do it. I just don't want to Mystery Science Theater my own shit. So if you guys...
No, you got... That would be even better. That's even funnier. You're like, I don't know what the fuck I was even talking about here. Like, that would be great. Are you kidding?
I just don't want to start any beef, man. I
don't even have that shirt.
I want a clean break, I need a clean break.
Yeah, I know what you think.
I got your back. I got your back, man. I can take out no, Jesus.
Back to the game.
So I didn't...
I'm joking.
I'm getting to that. I'm just catching up here because I was not in the last show, and I'm being narcissistic because it's my birthday tomorrow. So, Phalanx, yeah, I blew it on that one. Gex blew it on that one. But I did beat Kid Icarus. That's nothing to do with anything we're talking about here, but that was like a little bucket list achievement for me. I felt like I should share it. The world should know.
I beat that shit like 5 years ago.
Let me say this. Number one, we have a stunt double that could, like, Valdor makes a good point. We could bring the stunt double on and have him be the person that rails on you instead for the movie. Now, number two, that is no small accomplishment. I beat Kid Icarus as a kid. And man, I had to draw maps and I had to remember, like, okay, do not fucking go down this, like, be ready to fucking go right back up when the eggplant dickheads, one of the worst fucking enemies in any fucking Nintendo game ever, the eggplant wizards, I can't fucking stand them. And then I remember beating the game. And I want to let you. I'm sorry. I don't want to take away from your.
No,
discussion.
Go ahead.
No,
you're fired up, man. Roll.
No, tell me what you thought about the game and like real quick, the Kid Icarus. Give me the Pocket Kid Icarus dissection of how the game played and ended. It
starts off extremely difficult to where you're like, it's like off-putting, and you're like, God, this sucks. And I think that's kind of why I never went all in on it in the past. I would fire it up and get irritated and shut it off, but once you power up a little bit, get your life meter boosted, your little weapons and shit, the game gets gradually easier. But the dungeons are a bitch because of Mr. Eggplant guy.
And no maps. And this was not as well vetted out.
I think I must have just gotten lucky because I just would explore the right way and then, like, stumble upon the boss. I'm like, oh, I'm here. Like, I didn't do the whole fucking exploration of the dungeon. I just, like, picked some right paths. And I was like, I'm rolling with this. We're good. Like, I don't need to do the 100% shit in these dungeons. I'm just going to fucking go there and blast through it.
I'm going to say this. This game was not as well vetted out as Metroid. Very similar in structure, like especially when you got into those dungeons and having to get to the bosses and all that stuff. But you could get in a book or Nintendo Power and find out how to get there. Kid Icarus, it wasn't that easy. That's why I had to draw my own maps. Anyway,
which is funny from the cartoon perspective.
I agree, but I definitely got the same feels playing Kid Icarus that I did playing like Metroid, like that era of Nintendo.
That's why I love it.
The sound effects. The music, just the whole way it's designed. I'm like, man, this is so good. I'm glad I finally went through with it,
I love that game. It is one of the games that I remember, along with Metroid, just really opening up my brain as to what a video game could be very early on in my experience with NES. So that's funny. So tell me, when that game ended, how did you feel?
I felt pretty damn accomplished. It didn't seem that long once you got rolling on it. I think I had 3 sittings total to beat it. But
that's probably about.
I don't know. I felt good because I was just like, man, it just seems like I've blasted through fucking 300 plus other NES games. Why have I overlooked like a first party classic that like just been sitting in my shelf for decades?
I felt like the end of that game when you fought the big Medusa head, I was like, that was the easiest shit I've ever done in my life.
Yeah,
I found a sweet spot in that. Where
you just find the spot and you sit there. There was you're like, nothing's gonna get me. I'm just gonna shear and shoot until it's dead. Yeah. I thought that was so crazy.
That's true. I think that was just for show to have a giant like boss takes up the whole screen.
Which was pretty cool.
Kind of like the fucking heart at the end of Contra. It's just like sitting there and you blast it,
Yep, that's fair. But all right, well, cool. Anyway, so tell me more about back to the topic at hand.
No.
It sounds like we're doing Kid Icarus next week.
Fine by me. Let's 5.0 spoiler alert.
Okay, so I beat Kid Icarus, and then a few days later, I beat that ass in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 against you, Mike.
Yeah. Robbie goaded me into getting on Fightcade and fighting him. Like the first time basically ever I got on Fightcade and played him, and he's like, I beat you in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And I'm like, I don't even think my buttons are set up right. I had no idea what was going on.
I want to see the proof in the pudding when he's here and you guys are actually on the arcade. Man,
I got bad news.
I mean, to Mike's credit, like, he took a round on me in MK2 because he mysteriously made a screen name, signed on, and just, like, challenged me, and I didn't even know it was him. And I remember playing this guy, and I was like, this guy is, like, fucking, like, kind of rudimentary MK2 skills, but he, like, got a match on me, and I was like, fuck. I was, like, a little pissed about it. And he called me, like, hey, that was me. I was like, oh, all right. Well, I don't feel as pissed off about it, but then...
That was funny.
But and then I beat that ass in UMK3. But
yeah, come on over. Play it at the house.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you were playing me like I was the AI, so I think you need to learn to play humans more.
No, yeah, it was. Some of it was like not being able to execute things the way I wanted to. It was just like, you know how you get into an environment and you understand the environment, like, okay, this, like, I have to push in a very specific direction to get to do this or whatever it is. That I was used to playing it on my arcade. I came downstairs and plugged it into the MK stick, which is not quite the same thing. And I was like, things weren't translating as quickly. And like it literally said, this is like the third time I have ever played on the thing ever, and it was all in the same night. So I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying it was a little different. So I'm more than happy to play it Galloping Ghost.
There's definitely latency on there.
Yeah.
It is.
It just was a different feel. So, but anyway, I wasn't going to bring any of that up, but since you brought it up, I did.
I think some of that probably makes sense too, though, because you haven't played other people in a long time, and like you play me.
Well,
but
the
like
reason
me
I
and
say
Harrison,
that is the reason I say that is because you kept fucking trying to spam the robot smokes like teleport punch. I'm like, that's what you do when you play against a computer.
It is, but that's not why I was doing it. And sometimes the biggest problem was I couldn't execute it fast enough. And that's like, there were times when I was like, okay, I should be teleporting, and it didn't do it. And then I'm like, well, that would have been the difference between winning and losing. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing where you're like, fuck, I had you right where I needed you, but it didn't teleport or something. And it's like, okay, so I just had to kind of learn it. That's all. And again, I'm not making excuses. Congratulations. And I just,
It was a test run, man. It was a test run. I just wanted to say I beat that ass. That's all.
Well, we beat each other at each's favorite game.
Yeah, true. It's true.
So
I guess we'll find out next month how it really pans out.
I hope so. I think before we get into the game, which obviously we're never going to do, I think the plan is in August that we will potentially drive to you and in turn, go straight to KC, depending on how it all goes. Jay's talked about potentially going. I'm in. I'm on board. So, like we'll talk. And I know that we're also talking about having you come out for the CCAG in Cleveland. So I'm still down for that. I know that you had some concern, or not concern, but I should say, you weren't quite sure if you'd be able to pull it off. So, that's still on the board. It's a possibility. So, yeah. But anyway, tell me about this game that we've talked about now.
Oh, you mean Terminator and the Sega CD that I ordered a few weeks ago?
Yeah. Did you also beat that?
I did. The game's fucking awesome.
That game is
really
awesome.
good.
I enjoy
gotta
that
be
game.
like top tier Sega CD game.
I can't think of 15 CD games, Sega CD games that are better.
Right.
I can't. And I like Sega CD. I'm an apologist for that console, but yeah.
Anyway. So Typing of the Dead.
The Typing of the Dead.
I have played this game. One of my buddies, he does a music project called Equip, like video game, vaporwave music. He has an Instagram, World of Equip. He's a big console nerd / peripheral nerd / he SCART cables, upscalers, fucking whole nine. He has an FM Towns Marty. He's a fucking just every console you can think of. He's that guy. But he uses like flashcards for everything. But he just kept hyping this game to me. He's like, you gotta come over and play Typing the Dead. Because whenever I come over, we always try to dive into like the weirdest shit or like social games. Like he's the guy who I actually played like the 8-player Saturn Bomberman with. Right. Because he had it all set up for us. We're like, well, fucking, let's do it.
If all I have to do is show up and play it, then I'll do it.
Yeah. So he's the one also who recently consoleized a Virtual Boy into a TV, and we were playing like a hack of like Street Fighter 2 on it. Yeah. So anyway.
Speaking of consoleizing.
Oh, yeah, we can get into that, but
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll just keep going Typing in Dead. We can talk about the consoleizing of my Neo Geo board, because I've been trying to call you about that for the past few days, but we haven't gotten a hold of each other. That's not a podcast.
We will discuss later offline, but yes, I will help. Anyway.
So, I one of our random gaming nights where I was over there, and he had two, I'm pretty sure Japanese Dreamcast keyboards queued up for us. So we did co-op, and it was fucking awesome because we both are proficient enough at typing. Right. I imagine it would suck horribly if you didn't know how to type.
That's what I was saying.
But we knew how to type. Yeah. I did my home row and all that shit in high school, and I don't have to look at my hands. I can just look at the screen and just type fast. So it's a fun game. It's like a rail shooter, but you're just typing instead. And it's such a fucking weird idea they just threw at the wall. and
I-
got greenlit. Got greenlit so hard they made a fucking arcade machine out of it.
They
Like,
it was originally an arcade game.
that blew my mind. I mean, that kind of makes sense because Sega was always doing like these. I don't know. They're just kind of taking chances on machines and stuff when they were doing that. I don't know. Yeah, Sega kind of had quirky games in general, I feel like. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Like Altered Beast.
Yeah, like that one. Hold on. I got to fucking turn off this Twitch. I'm hearing some echo from
That's
me.
fine.
Echo.
I think we're good. Yeah, we're good now. I
Okay.
can hear myself through the Twitch feed. So it's like a double voice. Anyway, sorry. So, yes. Fun game. I do like the campiness. I agreed with you. I like the fact that all the characters in the game have little Dreamcast on their back, like backpacks, like Proton packs, but they're just little Dreamcast consoles.
I'm not gonna lie, that is what sealed the deal for me. When I first
Funny.
saw or played this game, I was like, "What the fuck? Are you
Yeah,
fucking
it's
kidding me?"
hilarious.
It's such a stupid detail, right? But it's like it
Yeah,
makes
but
the
it's
whole
like-
thing.
Yeah, it's just like they're just not taking themselves seriously. They're just letting you know what's
Yeah,
going on here.
exactly,
Like, well,
exactly.
We are self-aware of how campy this is, and
Yep.
we're just gonna fucking
I'm gonna tell you.
fall through on that.
I'm gonna tell you, I've never done a cosplay. I want to dress up as James. I'm just gonna wear a gray suit and seriously strap a Dreamcast to my back, get a keyboard, and we'll be typing of the dead. You can be not Harry, he dies. Whoever the other guy is, I ripped up the page with his name on it. Gary, I don't know.
James.
Yeah.
No, I said James. Anyway, go ahead.
So, with that being said, the campiness, the overall vibe, the niche factor of it, as a social oddity, I think it's fantastic. Would I want to play this by myself over and over? Probably not. So I guess it does belong in the arcade. It does make sense as like an arcade.
Sure.
Because in Japan, because in America, no one wants to fucking do that. I feel like, but like.
People can barely read here, much less type.
Exactly. They would just pound their fist on the keyboard and walk away.
I lost. No, I didn't. I won.
I originally had 4 in my mind, a 4.0, and then now I feel like I'm being influenced by your view, but the more I think about it, as a social oddity and a niche thing, I give it a 4.5.
4.5.
It's a crazy idea that just worked, and it's cool. And most people that you talk about it with that know what it is are like, dude, the game's fucking awesome because it's just so weird and
Yep.
it's a cool little part of video game history from that era.
It's just this cool thing that it's just, like you said, it's like this oddity
I'm just
thing.
saying, why? I want to know why.
That's what I wanted to know. When I was researching this game, I was trying to figure out who
was
came
the
up
guy
with the
who was
concept.
Like, hey, I got an idea, guys.
Exactly.
Let's
That's what I want to know.
Let's take. There's a million other games we have on our, license under Sega, but let's take this game and implement keyboards.
Yep. I don't understand it.
Like fuck Virtual Fighter and whatever. Let's just do typing of the dead.
And they did. All right, cool, man.
So I think that is all I have to say about that game. I don't have anything else really.
Robbie Coleman, everybody. Bob Newhart, everybody.
Sorry. Yeah,
So I guess I guess the question lies. We'll put you on the spot, and John, you can type too.
Yeah, you can give me.
What's the game?
Wait, what?
What's the next game?
It's
Oh,
obviously
in your guys' hands.
It's obviously Kid Icarus.
Oh, I don't want to do Kid Icarus.
I know. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
No, I don't know. I'm staring at a shelf of games, and they'll just kind of blend together once you have so many titles sitting in front of you. I'll think of it if you want to put in the ball in my court.
We'll collaborate. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out. We
Yeah.
can just post it online.
We should definitely all revisit that Bad Gabe thing because I feel like we just kind of ran out of time.
Oh, we will. We absolutely. It's
That
on the
episode.
list. That's on the list.
I saw that and I was like, that's cool because I feel like there's many bad games out there to keep talking about.
Valdor says Clax, and John says I'm down for Clax. It's funny. I was playing the old Turbo Express with the big screen on it now, and that was the game. I was like, I'll play Clax.
Clax is good. But it's not I don't know how much we could talk about it, but I love Clax. I used to play. I rented that from the video store back in the day and stuff. So.
Yep. Well, maybe it'll be
I
Clax.
think, I think we should hit up. God, I always pronounce his fucking name wrong. Sorry, Milwaukee Retro Gamer. Kalen
You got
Kalen,
it. Kalen.
Kalen. I hit him up on the side, asked him if he wanted to do an Arkanoid episode, and he was like, "Yeah, when?"
Oh, we'll do it. No, I'll talk to him. He might be. Maybe that's what we do in 2 weeks. I'll talk to him.
The Arkanoid,
Arkanoid would be good.
great game. Everybody kind of likes it in our little group, and there's a million offshoots. They're all fun and interesting. So,
What about a Genesis game? We just did a Moonwalker, right? Mattio was here a few months.
It's been a couple months now.
we can do fucking Genesis game, whatever.
I threw out Altered Beast earlier. And
I got a lot of those. Altered Beast would be cool. Anyway,
we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll the four of us can talk about that offline.
Anyway, all right.
Anything
Offline.
else? Any other questions, concerns?
No, I know you did a good old. So give me the 90-second story of your garage sale / pickup.
Oh, okay. I tabled a flea market in my hometown of Wadsworth, Illinois, with the old homie Cartmageddon.
Yep, I have an autographed cartridge of his. It's a 1-on-1.
Yeah, that's right. I sold a shitload of stuff. Some of your VHS tapes from the leftover from the last box that we talked about in the last episode that I was on. Did well there. Packed up early because it was kind of slowing down. And I headed out of town, and at like 3 p.m. on like a Saturday afternoon, just heading down the main road to go back to the highway, go back to Chicago, there was like a barn, farm-ish residence that had like a yard sale going on. And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking so tired. I don't want to do that. But then I could see the green plastic from a distance.
You're like,
that's Xbox.
I know that green.
Xbox plastic.
That's Microsoft green.
Yeah, from those fucking games, like green cases. And I was like, oh, there's games. I gotta stop. So pulled over, walked to the table, and the guy had old school pricing. He just said $5 a piece. I was like, cool. So I literally did the dickhead move and fucking did the price charting thing on every single game because I don't know too much about Xbox. And I was like, well, this one's $20, this one's $30, this one's fucking $40. And I was like, these are the games I'd like, sir. And he was like, this gets interesting. I didn't explain this in the Instagram post, but he was like, the discs are inside. I have to run and grab them and then like pop them in and I'll bring them back out. I was like, okay, weird, but okay. Maybe he just had them in one of those Case Logic books and just been too lazy to take them out.
Right.
So he went in, like 2 Wii U games in that pile too that I pulled. I think it was NES Remix and then Kirby's Dreamland Collection, which is like $100 fucking Wii game. $5. Anyway, he goes inside, comes out with a stack of games and he goes, all right, $100, man, which is the math was right. I added up to that. It was 20 games. And I was like, okay, cool, man. Here, let me just make sure some of the discs are good. Opened it up. Some of the discs were fine. Paid the man. I was like, you got anything else? And he was like, yeah, got some Game Boy stuff. Ran back inside, came back out. Sold me a Game Boy lot for $50, which had 3 Game Boy Advance systems in it. A Game Boy Color, Link's Awakening, Metroid: Samus Returns, Pocket Bomberman, a fuckload of good DS games, like loose ones, but like, like Harvest Moon and some Atlas RPG, whatever.
Have you seen how much fucking Metroid 2 for Game Boy goes for now? It's like $40. I know. I have a copy. I'm like, what?
Because when I was buying these things, I was like looking at it with my old brain. I was like, oh yeah, Metroid, $10.
Yeah, it's a $10, $15 game.
I got home and looked it up, and I was like, whoa, this is a really good score. I haven't had one like that in a long time. So, and then lastly, I was like, then he was like, oh, I got a PS2 inside too. Ran back inside again. Came out with a PS2 Slim and a few games and gave me that for $20. So overall, it's a fantastic score. It's spending $175.
You just reminded me. Yeah, go ahead.
The thing with the discs, the reason I'm coming back to that, because when he was inside running to grab, I think the PS2 shit, I started looking at the games. I was like, wait a minute, one of these Wii U games isn't here anymore. I was like, wait, I didn't fucking pluck Assassin's Creed games for Xbox One. I would never pay more $5 for these things because that's what they're fucking worth. I'm not gonna buy them if I'm like gonna resell these things. So like he came back out, I was like, hey bud, like what's up with
what's the deal here?
Different than the ones I handed you. And he's like, no, those are the ones you picked. I was like, oh, here we go. And then I was like, no man, there's definitely, I did not grab these Assassin's Creed. He's like, yes sir, those are the ones you picked. And I was like, God,
why are you doing this?
I don't want to argue too much because basically the Kirby game was still in there, and I was like, fine, I think it's $100. I don't care what this what fucking 3-card Monty's guys trying to do to me. But like, as long as some of the games of value that I cared about were still in there, which they were.
Yeah.
But it got kind of awkward because then I was like, hey man, I don't want some shady shit going on. Now I have to check all these and open up every single one and make what other games did you switch? Also, there's a Wii U game missing from here. And he's like, oh yeah, that one couldn't find the disc. So I was like, you just didn't feel like mentioning that when you came back out. You
brought it up.
You just had $100, sir, like as if you brought the same stack out.
Yeah,
Got a
that's
little
not
weird.
cool.
It got heated, and then like I was getting a little not angry, but I was getting pretty tense. I was like, that's kind of dishonest, man. Like, but whatever.
Yeah,
and he's
gotta go.
It was getting weird, and then like eventually he fessed up. He's like, yeah. So my brother would have killed me if I sold you that Pikmin 3 for the Wii U.
Then
So
just say
I was
that.
like, you should have fucking said that. I was like, dude, you should have said that.
We're
Like, you made it
adults
weird.
here. You're not 9 years
You made it
old.
weird.
Yeah, you made it weird. Anyway, that's
Were you
funny.
like-
You just
Were you like, do you know who I am?
But as I was leaving, he was like, I had like a fucking 2 armfuls, or both my arms are filled with games.
yeah.
And I was like, all right, later, man. I just paid him a shitload of money, and he was like, hey, did you get any free jam? And I
Yeah.
was like, because we're on a
Peach
farm.
and strawberry rrhubarb.
Yeah, and
My
I was
two
like, no, I
favorites.
didn't know. I was like, fuck yeah. I literally just polished off the fucking the peach one just now.
That's
The
awesome. I bet it was
strawberry
good.
rhubarb. Yeah, they were both good.
Good.
But yeah, that was the pickup, and now I've replenished some inventory for tabling again because I was kind of like, well, I'm running out of shit now because I sold all the stuff at the flea market.
You just triggered something in my brain. I went to a garage sale myself on Friday, and I picked up a bunch of stuff. I wound up getting a PS2 with a guitar and like 8 games for $10. I got a bunch of Wii U games in a boxed Half-Life 2, the small box, for 50 cents each. And then I wound up picking up a Wii U tablet controller and a Wii with all the cables for $20. And
Wow.
I bought 4 wireless Xbox One controllers and 1 wired Xbox controller for $30 total. So yeah, I found a bunch of computer parts too, which you never find. Like this one woman was like, oh, like my husband used to build computers. I picked out a copy of it was an OEM copy of Microsoft Windows XP X64 in the case with the code and the sticker. That sells for $100. I got it for $1. So yeah,
Wow.
don't ever overlook
Nice.
Windows XP licenses. And this was X64, which all the nerds want now because it was the fastest version, blah, blah, blah. But it was just so funny. I was like, you just triggered my brain that I went to a garage sale and picked up a bunch of stuff. I forgot.
Let me just say here to conclude that yard sale pickup. I don't have finds like that anymore. Like, I mean, I have, you remember like my Instagram from years ago, I'd be going out like hard, like every
Yeah,
weekend, like
yep.
crazy pickups of like all these lots. Like that's not happening anymore in the city of Chicago. Every time I go to a fucking yard sale, it's like literally, oh, you're the 8th person to ask.
Right.
Not just the fucking 2nd or 3rd. Like, oh yeah, you're like the 10th guy to ask. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like here on time.
yeah,
Did someone come knocking on your door last night? Like, anyway,
they did.
just gotten fierce to the point where I've like basically stopped going out Saturday mornings all hard. Now I just literally stop at yard sales if I happen to be driving past them.
Yeah, I know.
In my normal life, I don't go out of my way because gas prices are so fucked.
It's tough,
I'm
man.
not going to drive around the city just burning gas, getting like
Yep.
backdoored by a bunch of other reseller dudes.
So
Probably
So
very
that's very
expensive in the bad
uncustomary.
dudes
I
van.
got a very old. Yeah, that van is not fucking good on mileage.
The
man.
bad
It's all-
dudes van.
yeah,
Not
bad
not
dudes
just
van.
any van. It's
the
the bad dudes
BDV,
van.
the BDV.
Yep.
So that yard sales find at 3 p.m. on a Saturday was indicative of geographical location. I think 'cause I was
It
out in the
had to be. So
And also, it was down the street from the flea market where game collectors came and bought games from me. Like, did you motherfuckers not drive past?
how
this
did you
thing?
not go right past this place?
I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe he brought him out late in the day because he's a lazy guy. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Maybe.
I got him now. But yeah, that's about it. The only other thing that's happened in my life that's remotely cool pertaining to video games since I last was on here was I was texting about it. I was at the Raw Thrills arcade headquarters, which is in Skokie, Illinois, because I did a job where I had to pick up a few machines for Logan Arcade with my boss and the owner of the arcade himself. And yeah, we went to the Raw Thrills, which is, if anybody doesn't know, it's a company that is, I think it's joint operated or joint owned by a Eugene Jarvis, and a famous arcade game creator who made Defender and
Yeah.
all kinds of crazy shit. Smash TV, whatnot. And this dude, fuck man, I'm an asshole because I can't remember his name. It's Andrew Eloff. Yeah, he is responsible for developing the DCS sound system, which is in like all the cool Midway games.
It's in my Mortal Kombat 2 game.
Right.
I see the logo all the time.
I think that was literally the first game that used the DCS sound system. He didn't create it, but he helped develop it along the way or something. But we had lunch with that guy. He gave us a tour of the whole facility. So like, all these games that were like in production that aren't even out yet.
Yeah.
It was cool to see all that shit. And, but yeah, I mean, Cruise and Blast was in there, like a whole upright and all this other shit. That's the only cool thing that happened that pertains to video games. But I thought it was cool. I don't know. I don't know if the rest of the world would think that's as cool. But the thing with Chicago is that like there's so many of these like industry dudes still kicking around here.
Oh, of course. That's where it all.
A lot of office. Yeah,
that's where it all happened.
A lot of office. Yeah, a lot of it happened here, and a lot of offices are still here, like Stern Pinballs in Elk Grove. Like, there's Konami offices still in like Wooddale, and like EGM was based out of Lombard, Illinois. I was telling somebody the other day. So all that shit's still around.
Yeah.
So, but it's like right under our noses, and I didn't even know that shit was so close to us. So until like we were like, I was assigned the job for the day. Like, oh, okay,
pretty awesome. Well, yeah. I'm gonna cut you loose. We got to get to the other half of the show, which will not be the other half. I'm joking, of course. That's a joke. But
oh, I see. That's the joke.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. Now that I have to re-cue this up because
it's not that way.
Can't. No, it's no. It's not that. I was just joking. So. But thank you for joining us. 8-Bit Supremacy Robbie coming, everybody. You have a good night. And have a happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks.
I think I'm just going to leave him. I'm going to leave him on the phone so he can just like, nobody's going to know he's there. And he's just going to pop in later and be like, yeah. And be like, whose voice was that? We won't even like acknowledge. Like, yeah. You want to just do that? You want to just sit on the phone while we talk?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll do that.
All right, that's
my birthday,
fine.
Man. I'll do what I want.
That is exactly right. All right. You're staying on. So hang up anytime, but you can stay on as long as you like. All right. So we got to get to the collecting. I'll do the collecting. Man, I would say that was too soon, but it wasn't. I laughed so hard. Oh, yeah. Legacy, blah, blah, blah. I can't even read my own notes. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about.
You always skip the legacy. You did last time.
Well, there wasn't anything to write last time. It was Phalanx. What was the legacy? There was an old guy on the cover. He died. The end.
Bertle.
Yeah, Bertle Valley.
Valley.
The interesting thing about this game to me is this. It spawned a ton of games. Like, we're going to talk about 4 very quickly, but man, there was an iOS port called Flick of the Dead. There's all that, whatever. So in 2004, there was a PlayStation port of this game. They called it The Typing of the Dead 2 Zombie Panic. Now, it was not a sequel. It was literally a port of this game. Released in Japan only. Came with a USB keyboard, and that was 2004. There was a true sequel to this game that was released on PC in like 2008 called The Typing of the Dead 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
The Typing of the Dead 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Zombaloo. Based on The House of the Dead 3. The House of the Dead 3. Then, we spoke about this earlier. There was a game called English of the Dead. English of the Dead. Released on Nintendo DS. Japan only. It was a translation game where you translated phrases from Japanese to English. It taught you English on your DS. You would write it out, and it would like applaud that you got it right and say the phrase and all this stuff.
Weird.
And then there is a modern sequel to this game, which I spent some time playing this week as well. The Typing of the Dead Overkill. The Typing of the Dead Overkill. I'm going to say this. That game came out 9 years ago. Okay, you can get it on Steam still.
Yeah.
And we can talk about where to play this game today too. But I'm gonna tell you, trying to find the original Typing of the Dead and then having a platform in which to play it on is kind of tough. It's not on Steam. It's kind of abandonware. That's neither here nor there. Overkill. It tries to be Typing of the Dead. The Typing of the Dead. It's not. It tries so hard to give you that camp factor, that stupid, like, it's supposed to be so dumb it's funny type thing, but it's just not, man. Like, it's too over the top, and it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. You'd have to play it for 10 minutes and you'd be like, yeah, this does not have the same fun, campy feel. It is like they're trying too hard to be that way.
So it really is overkill.
It's like when you watch a really bad B movie and it's a little too self-aware, it's trying to be campy, you just hate it.
Yes. It's like I was saying to Jay earlier, when Sam Raimi does a movie, there's like this way that it gets done and there's things you can expect, but it's good and it's got irony and it's funny and it is somewhat self-aware and all those things. But you can cross that line where you're just like, okay, we get it. So, yeah. And that's where this was. It's like Sharknado. Exactly. It's the pinball of the dead.
It probably should have just been a one and done game, but like when you start watering it down with weird offshoots and sequels, it gets kind of convoluted.
You can make it whatever you want. So if you just want to play the one, play the one. The only other one I've ever played is this Overkill. And I was excited because I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then it just was so much. Like, there are these two agents, and one of them's like this real pissed off cop who swears all the fucking time, constantly.
Was that the one that said he was going to kick everybody in the dick?
It's like, you better watch out for Agent Washington or he'll kick you in the balls. And he's like, I'm going to kick you in the balls, which was the funniest part of the game. I laughed at that immediately, and then everything else I was like, okay, this is so dumb. And it has, I don't think the voice acting is much better than, so anyway. But that's a little bit about the legacy of the game. I would say that the people who liked this game back then still really like this game. And like you said, it's not one that I think people pull out very often, but I still really enjoy playing it when I pull it out. And but the sequels, they are a varying quality, I think. And I just think that the most recent one that's accessible is probably the worst one of them all, is my guess. So anyway. So we'll just kind of talked about where to play it. You can play it on a Dreamcast, whether you have an official licensed copy or it's a burned copy or whatever. You must have the keyboard to play it. You can play the PC version of the original. It is out there for download. It is basically abandonware. So to describe it, basically abandonware is there are still copyrights or trademark laws around this stuff, but nobody gives a fuck.
So you just download.
You could go download it and install it, but like it's also built for a Windows XP machine. So if you had that Windows XP 64 license that I found at the garage sale for $1, maybe you're all set. Yeah. Most people don't. I know that lady doesn't anymore. You dumb bitch. Wow. No, anyway, she was very nice. Anyway, so it's I know, right?
Yeah, it just got really. Yeah.
I got you good, bitch.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That rage inside of you.
No, she was very nice. I didn't mean that. So. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about collecting.
Done.
Jay will talk about speedrunning and we'll wrap up, okay?
We will wrap it up.
I'm going to wrap that gavel up. So there's really not a lot to talk about when it comes to collecting. Really, the thing I didn't put on the sheet is you also have to have the Dreamcast keyboard, right? So this game loose is like $75. And if you're buying a $75 optical disc loose and you don't have the case at home for the game, just go out and shoot yourself. Okay? Please don't buy a $75 copy of this game loose. Go out and spend the $120 what a complete in case, we'll say, version of it is worth. Okay? And it sells for.
And John just got a Japanese copy for $80 with a keyboard.
Yeah. Go ahead and jump. Yeah. Can I finish the stuff I was talking about before you jump in with the next version you just want to just jump right in?
Oh, yeah, you didn't have this shit on there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, sealed, this game sells for about $130. This is a very common sealed game. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of dead stock, and we'll get into that in the next part of this. But yeah, this is like about $120 game if you want to buy it with the case, but you also have to have the keyboard, which is about a $55 to $60 accessory now. I remember when you couldn't give away a Dreamcast keyboard. People would be like, no, thank you. I do not want it. Now they're $60 loose.
I mean, that's what becomes collectible, man.
Right, because nobody wants that big clunky keyboard piece.
Yeah. No one wanted the Sega Mega Mouse or whatever, and that's gonna cost me a little bit of money to get that.
The Dreamcast mouse. Yeah, you need the Dreamcast mouse to go with the Dreamcast keyboard. John mentioned that one of his friends used it as like a cheap PC back in the days. I could see that. You ran Linux on it. You could web browse, whatever. Okay.
Do you have the keyboard or the mouse? The keyboard.
I do not have a
keyboard's right in
Dreamcast
front of
mouse.
us. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was talking about the
You were
Genesis.
talking about the Genesis mouse. I know. I
okay.
yes, but I was just saying there is also a Dreamcast mouse too. So, okay.
It's ironic that the sealed version's only $10 more than a CIB.
I think it's just because, again, as you get into more modern, I know 20 years old, whatever, but more modern sealed games, there's a lot more of them.
It's
right?
just still surprising that it's only a $10.
There's
swing.
almost
you
no
think
disparity.
it would still be a little bit bigger gap.
But
than that.
again, I think that speaks to what we'll get to in the collecting of the graded part and the population report crap.
Do tell.
This is the third most graded game for the Dreamcast. Sonic Adventure 60 times, Phantasy Star Online version 2 54 times. This one 36 times. Okay.
That's pretty interesting. Does that just mean there's a shitload of sealed copies out there?
It just means that there were a bunch that they didn't sell. There was a bunch of dead stock that collectors sat on for a long time or picked up, cheap not too long ago and then sent in to get graded, right? Because it was an expensive game and it was kind of hard to find game, but it really isn't. You know what I mean? It's just one of the, So I think that's kind of interesting. The highest grade that is available in WATA was a 9.6. I can tell you that and I'll get into the cost of this thing graded because it's actually very accessible. I have a copy sitting right here in front of me that I basically paid just over, retail for. I paid like $170 or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And that's for a 9.6 A plus, which is like the second best version in the world because there's a 9.6 A plus plus, right? That 9.6 A plus plus sold in, just about 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, on the 7th of June for $180. Okay. That's like the nicest copy you can find. Now, when this game very first sold, and they've only been grading modern games like this, not for a very short period of time.
Yeah.
The 9.4 A plus sold for $288 on February 22nd of this year. That was the first time it had ever sold, right? Now, the uneducated buyer always goes and buys the first one because guess what? There's a whole shitload of them, right? So February to May 31st. And May 31st, so we'll say 3 months later, this game in the exact same condition sold for $104. So your investment of $288 that you bought this game for in February literally plummeted over 50%, immediately. So
And actually, you got a better grade.
yeah, I got a
even
better grade for
before that
substantially
one.
less.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So, and it sits here because I don't generally buy graded games that I really like, but this is a cheap, accessible one that I do like that game. So it's like, I had a couple drinks that night and said, fuck it. Anyway. All right. Jay, talk to me about the speedrunning of this game.
Means somebody does it really quick.
Yes.
Okay. So as far as speedrunning goes, surprisingly, it's more people than I thought because the last game we had,
Nobody's speedrunning Phalanx.
Yeah.
Nobody was speedrunning Phalanx.
But there was there were 17 players listed, 36 total runs. The last run was actually 5 months ago,
Yeah.
which is kind of again surprising.
And it was like a 4th place or 5th place on the chart run by the runner.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So, the two top ones that we had on here was the arcade percentage, any percent.
And that is you played the arcade mode of the game, whether it was on
Yes.
Dreamcast or PC.
Yep.
It didn't matter the platform; it mattered the type of game you chose. So you could choose arcade, and that was the only on a normal level,
Yep.
or level of difficulty.
Yeah, and that was from Peaches in the U.S.
Yep.
28 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yep.
And then we had any percent, so any style, so
Any percent.
arcade, original.
It was only the two.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was any percent was arcade or original on normal.
Yeah.
That was the only real rule.
And that one was Sushi Kishi,
Suji Kishi.
and that was United States again, 26 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yep.
Those are all speed run. So that's it.
Yep,
I mean,
that
that's
all-
pretty simple.
So there you go.
Yep. Is Robbie still here?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I knew it
Yeah.
was there. I knew it. Anyway.
Anyhow.
All right. So, next game. Mr. Coleman, do you have a suggestion? I know John's out there listening. Mentioned
Castlevania Bloodlines.
Castlevania Bloodlines. Ooh. Ooh, another Halloween game in the
I
middle of
guess.
summer.
Yeah, maybe we should save that fucker for.
Maybe. Look.
That should be an October game.
I'll play it though.
Yeah. It should. But I mean,
I gotta
that
trump
game's
that
so
one.
awesome.
That's fine. I'm just listening to you guys.
That's a good call though. But I think that should be.
I don't know. I just why it just popped into my mind because someone said Sega Genesis earlier, and I was like, well, that's one of my most anticipated purchases in the '90s was that.
I can't believe you didn't go with X Mutants.
Oh yeah.
X-Mutants.
Wow, what a stinker that one is.
That or Virtual Bart.
Whoa.
I'm just thinking of
Yeah. Virtual fart?
Virtual Fart. Very good. So
Jonathan's in my wheelhouse. Sorry,
John
I
says
called you
Super Metroid for Jay. Now that was an episode that we did predicated you.
What a fantastic
We can do
game.
Super Metroid. I mean, if you guys want to do it, I've done it once.
I 110% will not argue that one.
I like how it's
Imagine.
fine that we do that one. That one's also could have been a Halloween one.
Super Metroid? No, I think
I'm just
Castlevania
kidding.
would be
I just
better.
was trying to be a jerk.
Big surprise.
All right, so John, I mean, I like all those for it.
I'll think of a cool Genesis game like Rocket Knight Adventures or something that everyone kind of.
Gunstar
fun
Heroes.
Yeah, one of those ones. Like the
I
good
think
ones.
our
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I think our viewers might think that we might be a Sega fanboy though if we keep doing Sega games.
Valdor
Last
says-
two were Sega.
2 Sega games in a row. A bunch of Sega fanboys.
I wasn't going to call out Valdor, but yeah, you can go ahead and call him out for saying it.
So
I mean, we got tons of NES games to choose from here. We got two
John
full
said-
set guys, and then Mr. Famicom over there as well. So.
that's right.
John said, "Let's talk it over."
Yeah, let's talk it over. Well, so we have not made a decision on the next game. We will announce it once we collaborate. We'll have to meet. Let's see what
post
kind of
it.
synergy we can create.
We'll
I don't
post
want
it
to
in
boil
the-
the ocean.
We'll
Okay?
post it in the comments when we post the episode. This episode, we'll post it in our comments when we post on the.
No one reads that shit. I
Well,
hope they
still
don't
post on
because
there.
the stupid shit I write. I will say before we move on, I thought the story of the origins of Phalanx was amazing. That was written. I know I wrote it, but this
was
shit
pretty
made me
good.
laugh so fucking hard.
It was.
An old man sits down in a chair. I enjoyed that. Anyway, what did you say, Robbie? I think there was more time that you put into writing this than they did developing it.
Yeah, I said you put more thought and time and effort and energy into that than the developers did in developing Phalanx.
Sometimes I just get a hair up my butt about it. I'm like, I'm going to write something. Fuck it. All right. So, Jay, where can the people listening to us now find us?
Wow, I got lost on that one. I was watching the playthrough, and it's Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Whoa.
Yeah, I should have
That's
never
a
pointed
lot.
that over to you, and I was going to also point to you to wrap us up.
Oh yeah. So. Well, we do have a link tree, and no, I'm not doing it tonight.
What is that?
It's linktree/lost joystick.
What? That's not. This is punctuated differently. I don't understand.
Can you read that to me?
I can't. I don't have my specs on.
God damn it.
What's it say?
Oh,
linkter.ee /lost joystick. That's going to be as funny as that. I guess that can be that can be like the retro gem miner.
It's as good as it gets to me. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of the show is waiting for you to say that at the end of every show. It's why I get up in the morning. That and to look at my massive and incredible video game collection.
Okay, well that works too. So if you don't want to go to our link tree,
Anyway,
you can
say
go.
the thing he said. See,
say the
Eldor's
thing.
here for it too,
See,
buddy.
he knows too. Instagram and Twitter, Lost Joystick. Facebook and Twitch, Lost Joystick Network. And we also have an email, info@lostjoysticknetwork.com. What are you doing?
Don't you worry about what I'm doing.
I am worried about what you're doing. Okay, I'm not. I'm hoping you're going to do something I like.
I now I can't do it.
Do you want me to do the link tree again? I'll do it again.
No,
if you do it.
no.
I'll do
we're
the
good.
link tree.
We need to put a bullet in this show.
All right.
All right.
I was really bummed the Bloody Tears button's dead. I hit that earlier. It was dead.
What'd you do?
It's dead.
I'm editing this part out, so don't worry about
That's
it.
fine.
yeah, we're just rambling here now.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Chop it all
It's
out.
weird. Yeah, I'll have to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's part of the life. All right. So, Robbie, thanks for joining us and sticking around.
Of course, John.
No
too.
problem.
Thanks to all those in the chat.
Yep. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, John.
Thanks
Happy
to
birthday,
John.
Robbie.
Happy early birthday. Hope it's a great
Thank
one.
you.
And with that, I will say, go out there, have fun, be safe, and be excellent to each other. What up?
Yo.
Hi, Robbie.
Man, that sucked. No, I'm just kidding. It was good. It was good. It was good. I had a good time. I'm glad you stuck around, man.
Might need a lot of editing on that one, though.
We need to just, I think next time I'll just leave John on the phone and then call you too, and we'll just all be on at once.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Why the hell not? I feel bad that he gets left out. Or then,
Well, this was we used the birthday excuse on this one. So.
yeah, good point. Happy birthday. This was your gift from me to you.
Yeah.
For you to be on the show and stay. Because I would have hung up on your stupid ass forever ago.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, I don't think I can put this in the mode yet. We're still using it as a conduit. Anyway.
John said Bird Week.
Oh, it's a Famicom game that I took interest in, and
oh yeah.
He's suggesting that is a cool game.
Robbie, you must be in this group too. Oh, you are. I don't have you saved in my phone, Robbie.
What?
The fuck is wrong with you?
It doesn't help. I'm talking 15
Oh,
feet away from the microphone. I said I don't have your number saved in my phone.
Well, yeah, likewise.
I just noticed John was texting, and I'm like, who the hell else is texting?
What's your last name?
Hale, H-A-L-E.
H-A-L-E.
Yep.
J. Hale.
Short name, Kip or Ned?
Create. I'm making a new contact, so
All right.
Robbie Coleman stunt double.
I just love that, like, I go to my phone and, like, right now, you know, the iPhone shows, like, your picture. All it is the background is, like, a blurred out version of your fucking stunt double. Like, the background is, like, your picture, but it's all blurry. And it's just that stunt double picture I use as your profile picture. Oh, it's so good.
JJ? John?
Yep.
I don't know why he's texting. Is anybody still in? You closed the...
Well, the stream is over, so... Well, it's not actually. I just closed the window. That's a good question. I think I closed the...
Did you close it?
No, I don't know. It's right here.
Oh.
Be careful editing out the rambling portions you may run out of the show. Well, you got us there.
That was about 90% of the show tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of meat on that typing of the dead bone. I don't know what preempted me to just every time that either of us would say the title of let's get The House of the Dead. I don't know. I just wanted to say it every fucking time.
That's pretty funny.
I thought it was funny. I should have just pre-recorded that and pressed the button instead of doing it every time. Would have been a lot easier. Anyway.
Don't feel bad. I think you three have good dynamic.
You do too, John.
You do too, John.
He's such a nice guy.
He is a good guy. Good people.
Yeah, so...
And I even though I called him Michael the other day.
Man, what a terrible thing to do. Ugh. Woof. Let's see here. It was a good show. I thought it was a good show too. Thank you, John. I know I shouldn't say that about the things I do, but I enjoyed doing it. So I think that we probably do need to figure out what we want to do next. And I think that I'm going to say this. I'm in for Kansas City. That's all I'm going to say. That being said, if I understand if everybody can't make it or whatever, and then, you know, with all the bylaws of the transfer of ownership of accessibility to items on tables based on terms and the services that has to be agreed upon or whatever the hell John said, the whole thing where it was like, you can't just bring stuff. What?
You can't just bring stuff?
No, they basically.
Well, what if I brought like a, like $5 game, just kind of flip them on?
Is that okay? Yeah, like I'm just gonna bring like that $1 in television graded game and put it on the table and be like, that's what I brought. That's WATA graded. It's a 7.5 sib.
WATA.
Well, I mean, just like put them on someone else's table, not have our own.
Oh, that would be funny. that is for sale. Please alphabetize it. All right.
What about sorry to
no, go.
Here, but what about the Adventure Island trilogy or quadrology if you want to include the Famicom one, which could include John because he's Famicom master. That's an idea.
I would pick one of them probably. We could talk about the whole series and then Super Adventure.
You want to do one?
I'm not like I'm not stuck to the idea of doing a single episode on a single game. We don't have to do it. That just is how we do it.
Yeah. You
I don't
guys
know.
done Batman yet?
Bad Dudes, yeah.
No, Batman.
Doing Bad Dudes again. We'll just do Bad Dudes once a month.
Yeah, every month we'll get on and we'll just talk about how great fucking Bad Dudes.
Welcome to episode 365.
We'll just
And
do
is
this.
Bad Dudes.
This will be our new theme music. Welcome to the Bad Dudes podcast. I am Bimmy, along with Jimmy. I know that's Double Dragon, but I just thought it would be funny anyway. I'm bad. I had to throw it in there.
So we could think of some like deeper cut. Like
John
Yeah.
says he's good with Adventure Island. I'm reading his chat over here. He can always call us too if he wants, but
we don't have. I'm not married to the idea. It's just a suggestion. You could do like some other random game like Russian Attack or some shit or
Russian Attack.
fucking magic darts. I'm just looking at my wall.
John just had a great comment. We can do a Bad Dudes anniversary edition. Quote, yep, still amazing. And then we just ramble about our pickups for 2 hours.
Yeah,
So anyway, the
sounds
guy
awesome.
tries to jam me up about Pikmin. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on here? And he's all like, I don't even know what you're
honestly-
talking about, bro. You wanted Assassin's Creed.
You know what's funny? Because my friend Nick, the one I tabled with, he was like, he doesn't really play retro games, but he was like, I listen to that podcast. I just kind of like hearing you guys' stories about like how you got games or like
Yeah.
acquired. Or he's like more into that. He's like, when you guys talk about the actual game itself, I like tune out.
You're like,
My
okay,
brain-
anyway, how do I get away from the topic?
Yeah.
I think John just put the winner in chat. I think we have a winner. And I'm going to
What?
ask Jay. Jay, before we say it out loud, what do you think of that?
Bad Dudes anniversary edition?
No, the
Sure.
line below that. Don't say it out loud. Are you for it or against it?
I'm down.
What do you think about Karnov?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I knew it would be a yes from you.
It's like a
Anyway.
spin-off of
I need
Bad
any
Dudes.
excuse to talk about Cold Karnov again.
Exactly.
By me.
Exactly. From Bad Dudes, it all
Karnov.
comes back, baby.
Yeah.
It really
he
will.
got well, shit, dude. I'm already going into it, but I think Karnov got a fighting game on the Neo Geo.
He did. The Karnov's Revenge was a Neo Geo fighting
Talk about
game.
that.
Yep.
Oh shit, we're
So
talking about that.
we'll get to all that. I'm sure he's shown up in a lot of Data East properties before they were dissolved.
For fans of Red Pants.
Yes.
We should change our name from Lost Joystick Network to the Data East Network.
If you like, if you like the Iron Sheik and you like Nintendo, you'll love Karnov.
Karnov's a pretty good suggestion, but yeah, it's another Data East game. But hey, whatever.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no one's gonna care either which way.
No one's gonna care anyway.
Well, no one's gonna care what title we choose.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Also, it's like if we choose something like Contra, it's kind of like some big shoes to fill. Like we better have a fucking good episode.
You better come correct. A lot of people will listen, and you have to be right, or they'll be like, "You fucking suck," which
Yeah.
they'll say that anyway. I hear it all the time, every day.
But then you can't. On the other hand, you can't really talk about. I don't know. Let me look at tag team wrestling or something. That's another Data East game. Or like
I was gonna say, isn't that Data East?
Rollerblade Racer. I don't know. Like something that's just.
Wait,
no
isn't
one
that?
thinks-
Is it? Which is the game? Is that Rollerblade or Rollerblade? It's Rollerblade, right? One of those
Rollerblade
games,
Racer.
but one of those games is weirdly, like it's not the word you think it is. Like I don't remember. I'll have
Roller
to-
games or roller ball.
It might be Roll Games, or I don't remember what it is. I don't know.
Roller games is an ultra game and it's really good.
Yeah.
It's like a little.
You don't
beat 'em
want a
up.
popular topic. More people might start listening. Thank you,
Yeah.
Asa. I'm just glad that somebody's here sharing in my misery. Anyway. All right.
I think. Well, I mean, aren't you trying to have a special guest again, or no?
I think we don't have anybody on the board for it, so I might as well just say, let's pick something, and then I can get somebody. The next step, actually, shit. The next episode after that would be on my birthday, and John's birthday would be the 13th, because that's a
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we
You
might have
the
to.
same birthday.
Yeah, we do. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I think
That is crazy.
well, I'm a few years older, so,
Huh.
but that's true of everybody anymore. So,
Yeah.
Let's just do the whole Data East catalog, says Rob. says
John.
John.
What else I got? What we got? Breakthrough. What are the fucking other games? I don't even know what else. is
Double
here.
Dragon,
I
right?
love that
Too.
Asa says you don't
not
want a
Data
popular
East.
What is?
topic.
Wait, who did the? No.
That's not Data East.
No. I'm thinking of. Didn't they do one of the games?
The Karate Champ. They didn't do any of the Double Dragon games. That was all Technos or Acclaim.
Technos, yeah. No.
And or Acclaim.
Oh, I know what it was. Didn't Data East originally do Burger Time, and then they put it out in the U.S. with somebody else put it out in the Midway Valley, or somebody put it out in the U.S. in the arcades,
I think it was Williams.
something like that.
We have one at the fucking arcade. I should know this, but
Well, soon I'll have one at our Lost Joystick Network arcade, which I talked to. Oh, by the way, speaking of arcades, I talked to Kyle today about that Marvel Superheroes cabinet.
Oh yeah.
You might want to, how much did you pay for the art? You don't have to, like, it doesn't, I'm not asking because I want a deal. I'm asking, like, how much did you pay for all that stuff, you think?
I don't remember because I got that stuff,
But not very much, right? Like, it wasn't a whole bunch. So here's the deal. I think you're safe to probably sell it. Okay. Or I might wind up buying it at a fair price. Now, I'm not asking for any kind of deal or anything.
Yeah.
But my point is that cabinet is a four-player Konami cabinet that it's in, and I'm almost positive if you Citra peel that side, it's probably got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle side art on it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna buy the cabinet from him probably, and I'm gonna strip it. He wants to put like a multicade. It's his first store, so he's like, let's just put like a multicade with like a, find a cabinet that doesn't tie to anything. We'll use that, and then I'll buy that from him at the time. And but I think I'm gonna like strip it down and find out if it's. I'm guessing it's probably Turtles under there because it was a Turtles machine. It had like some Turtles ephemera inside of it at one point. So I'm like 90% that's what it is. So I'm like, I might just buy it, but then I would still have the Marvel Superheroes PCB and stuff. So I might still want the stuff to go with it. So anyway.
Yeah, but if you do, you don't want those little side stickers. You'd rather have something cool.
That's yes, but you understand my point, right? Like I wasn't trying to ask to be like, hey, give me a deal on this shit,
Well, here, I mean, I have the a bezel for it too.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's used and like it has like a tear in it. It's being held together by like a piece of tape, like a clean tear goes all the way through.
Yeah.
And
but,
so I might sell that as like a lot, like the side art stickers plus the bezel, like put it on eBay. But that dude still has another bezel that's uncut and new old stuff. So if you ever need it, I'll cross that bridge.
Well, what I'm saying is if I actually did buy it, I would probably just find another cabinet and stick that game in it because that other cabinet is too valuable to keep that game in there. If it's Turtles, I'm buying, you know what I mean? Like, what's a fucking 4-player Turtles go for? $2,500? You know what I mean? They're not cheap.
Yeah, probably a lot.
So if that's the case, then that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, but anyway, I was having a talk with him today. I had to go over to his shop just before the show because I'm like, I don't have a fucking Dreamcast AV cable. All I have right now is a Dreamcast SCART cable that goes into the Switch I have. And then fucking I realized I had gotten rid of all of them when I traded all that stuff to John a while ago. So, yeah, John sent us a picture of all his Data East games. Cobra Command, Side Pocket.
Dude, I'm looking at one right now. Werewolf, the Monster Returns.
Oh, no, Werewolf.
I like that game.
Yeah. I need a Bad Dudes. I don't even have it complete. Man, what's wrong with me?
You don't have a complete Bad Dudes?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's weird.
I'll just go find one. I think I was waiting until like if a dumb CIB copy of it shows up on Heritage Auctions, I'm buying it. It won't be expensive. That's the beauty of that CIB stuff is nobody ever wants it.
Ring King, that's a real winner.
Oh my God. I remember I'm going to give you a very brief story because I know it's approaching midnight here, but so your birthday. But when I first got into Nintendo, I stayed the night at a guy's house. You remember Dan Kirk?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dan Kirk, this was before Dan Kirk became like a skater kid, right? Like just before. Because I remember being like, what the fuck happened to you? Like then I figured it all out. But Dan and I hung out. They had a pool in their house, like an indoor pool. It was weird. Yeah. So But I remember we were hanging out and he fell asleep and I played his fucking Nintendo till I probably would say 4 a.m. and all he had was Ring King. So I fucking played Ring King for like 6 hours straight. I don't even know if I've played it ever again since. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's my Ring King story. Is that
you just really like those cutscenes at 3 a.m.
Oh fuck yeah, man! when you got the white guy with the afro and the mustache just sitting in the corner and the guy's helping him out.
Yeah, help him out.
Yeah, he's helping him out. he needs to get motivated for the fight.
Yeah,
through oral sex. Have you seen the thing? Jay?
No.
Oh God! Just Google.
Yeah,
just Google Ring King Corner NES. That's all.
Do that right now. I want to hear the.
Yeah, let's do the live reaction.
Right now.
I'm gonna
I
live
want the
stream
live
this.
reaction video.
I'm gonna put it on TikTok.
You gotta start doing that. Jay reacts to Ring King.
And it's just like a thing of him going like
Ring King Corner.
Yeah, Ring King
thumbnail.
Corner. Between rounds, Ring King Corner. Yeah, something like that.
It might just be Ring King, just gameplay. I don't know if they do.
Ring King NES Corner. You find anything? Here, let me see. I'll find it.
Oh, I got it right here.
Yeah.
There's a video.
Let me see. Let me see the video. Yeah, watch that video. Tell me what you think.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's blowing him.
That's what I also thought when I was like 14. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Am I wrong here? Is it my brain that thinks this? No, it's everybody's.
The best is I played Ring King. I don't remember that.
It's called suppressed memory, Jay. There's a good reason.
What the hell?
You don't remember it on purpose. Now that Robbie has your phone number, he'll text you randomly. He'll text it to you randomly.
What,
He's going to
Ring
get the
King?
Ring King blowjob scene sent to you constantly. It's going to be a picture. He's going to superimpose his face over one of the... make you watch it.
He'll put the stunt double on the boxer.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. It'll be me with the stunt double blowing me.
That's just like...
I still don't think there's any winning combination on that, Robbie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that, like the best way to arrange that.
8-bit supremaception.
Yeah, after hours.
This is definitely not this. I'm glad we're not recording this for the podcast outtakes.
Oh, yeah.
It's still going to be on the live stream, though, so keep that in mind.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I think anybody who will be listening to this point is old enough to...
Yeah, you got to hope. Even on the West Coast at this point, it's 9 p.m. I don't know. Hawaii time, it's like 6. No, it's 6 hours. I look. I almost put it
I don't want to bum out your kid, because I remember last time he came out, he's like, "Oh, you're not talking about porn this time, are you?" And I was like, "Oh man, I was the guy who brought the porn that one."
No, well.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey, you need a boxed Famicom?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
No.
All right.
No.
I just don't want to jump down that rabbit hole, man. I got a few carts that John gave me, and like I fucking played them a few times barely, but I'm not trying to go ham on it.
Yeah.
I got a little converter, so I was playing with the NES. But they're pretty. Famicom's pretty cool.
There's cool stuff. Like I said, I'm learning about the Super Famicom stuff because I've been doing the whole Bai thing, right? I didn't hear the question, but yes. Tape Flipper just pops in. I didn't hear the question, but yes. I don't remember what the question was now. Oh yeah, I think this has to do with the whole Ring King corner job thing. You might want a second take on your response there, Tape Flipper. Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Oh my God, Ring King and Chill.
Yeah, that sounds like something else.
Ring King and Chill.
That was me. Yeah, I think I said that.
Hey, Lauren, you ever play Data East's Ring King? And you're like you'll go to the corner scene in between rounds, and you'll just kind of look at her like Chappelle looks at when he's the sex contract. He's looking over like, yeah, what do you think about that? Is it good? No, okay, you can go to bed now, I guess. No, anyway, shit, yeah, but yeah, I'm not really. How do I put this? I'm not really going down the rabbit hole of Super Famicom from a collecting perspective. There will be things I keep that like there's a Link to the Past. I'm going to keep, right? I'll surely run into another copy as I do this, but I'm really just kind of like doing the whole buy thing, picking up stuff. So I have like stock, right? So I have things to take to these shows that are maybe a little different, but still appeal to someone like you or me, where it's like, if I had a Mortal Kombat 2 Super Famicom complete in the box, would you be interested in that?
Probably.
Right. But there's but other 99
my face.
right. If it's sitting there and it's literally $30 and you're like, huh, how do I not buy this? Right. I might not ever see another one of these in my life. Who knows? And it's fucking cool. It just kind of goes with the ephemera of being a fan of a game or a game series or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm doing is like, there are definitely games in there that I don't think would appeal to a lot of people. But then like you get Super Mario World. Who wouldn't want a nice boxed copy of the first game that came out for the Super Famicom? That people love that game. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing is what I mean. So it's just that's kind of what I'm doing with it. It's been fun, man. So and I'm excited to get some of that stuff actually in my hands and start like just messing with it. I don't plan on playing a lot of it. I really like it's really mostly to put on the shelf for a few, but most of it's going to wind up going in stock, right? And then I can take it to a show. Like that one guy that had all that Japanese stuff at Midwest Gaming Classic was that's where I first got the idea for also, in talking to John and how John does it when we did the show last year at VGS. But I thought to myself, that guy's prices were so fucking high on that stuff. There's no way these things are this expensive, and I looked and they weren't. So anyway, but he was also the only game in town, when it came to that stuff. Yeah, that's one I haven't seen yet. Super Metroid would be awesome to have because it does have all the language. It has a language option in it, but it is not a cheap game now. That's one that you cannot find cheap anymore. Yeah. Anyway, so all right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Even though, yeah. All right. Well, have a good night, man. Have a good birthday. I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. And thanks. Yeah, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out. And John, thank you obviously for being on as always. And we'll I think Karnov is the selection unless I hear otherwise. I think it's gonna be.
Let's sleep on Karnov, but I'm pretty into it.
All right. We'll confirm tomorrow.
So we're gonna ring King Karnov.
I'm not. That might be Karnov getting Ring King and Ring King. I don't know. It might be. I don't know what's going on there. It's a date. They're both State East properties. Anyway. Yep. Thanks, Asa. Yep. See you guys. Thanks, Asa. Bye. Ooh.
Bye, everybody.
Bet.
Bye, everybody. What are you doing? Stop it.
Like you hit a home run.
Okay. Just shut it off.
No.